football. Squeezes that ball into Carlos! Oh, that is a stunner! That is an absolute stunner from Sean Carlos! Back inside Saunders, a slip into midfield. Saunders! They've won this game by 3-0. A comfortable victory in the end. Well, welcome to Lions Stadium on a beautiful afternoon here in South East Queensland for the grand final of the National Premier League's Queensland between Lions and Olympic. I'm Simon Smale. I'll be talking you through all the action. Alongside me is my old sparring partner, Jonty Richter. Jonty, fantastic to have you with us for what should be an absolutely brilliant grand final.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and what a great day for football. I don't think you could ask for better conditions for this grand final.
The surface is absolutely immaculate. I had a walk across it just before. The atmosphere is really building as well. A lot of supporters here from Olympic, plenty from Lions as well. It's all building up for a fantastic occasion.
Yeah, that's it. We haven't seen a crowd like this here at Lions in a long time, and yeah, as I said, builds for a great atmosphere, and let's hope it's a great game.
Of course, none of what we have here today would be possible without the sponsors, so thanks from Football Queensland, on behalf of Football Queensland, for all the sponsors, from Kappa providing the kit to All Sport to providing the balls that we've been playing with, and of course Total Tools for sponsoring our referees over the course of the year. I know they're good friends of yours, Jonty. I've always got plenty to say about the officiating teams.
Well, let's just hope they don't make Total Tools of themselves, but great sponsor there. I think a bit of tongue-in-cheek there, but yeah, I think the best referee in our league's taken a hold of this one, so it should make for an interesting afternoon.
Yeah, Matt Skinner is the man in the middle, but before we get on to the men in the middle today, we'll talk about the men in orange, Lions, who have been absolutely spectacular this season. We'll be checking out some highlights of them this year, and it's really been built off the back of a phenomenal defence. Just 11 goals conceded. That's one every 112 minutes, and that's really laid a platform for goals like this.
Yeah, and the best defence of all NPL teams in the whole country, so testament to the Lions squad, but as you said, makes for some interesting attacking play and certainly a number of spectacular goals in there as well.
We've seen plenty of brilliant goals and plenty of brilliant goal scorers in the side. It seems to be threats all over the park, and none more so, of course, than Merritt Madley, who's come into the side late from Holland Park Hawks, but made a real impact. Yeah,
he's one of those players who really has a nose for goal, and I think it's one of those, he's probably above this level, maybe not quite good enough for the A-League now, but certainly worth an opportunity. But yeah, nonetheless, a great signing for Lions this season.
Made some interesting comments in the local press up here about chance being offered to players such as him over the course of the season, and perhaps a certain former Olympic sprinter perhaps getting spots that players like him should be getting. But he does put his hands up, and he wasn't able to score in the last semi-final though, and it was a much harder game than perhaps a lot of people thought it would be.
Yeah, and I think he scores a lot of goals clearly, but he does a lot of work that people probably don't see, the nitty-gritty stuff. He's excellent at holding the ball up, and yes, he might not have scored last in the semi-final, but certainly was a handful and created a few opportunities for the rest of the side.
It was a tough game, a great equaliser there from Riley Campbell for Moreton Bay United, finishing in 4th spot on the ladder, and then it took penalties. That one was missed by Andy Thompson, but then Luke Berean, he's a real character, isn't he? And of course, to score the winning penalty, which we'll see just shortly, it takes a lot of courage.
Yeah, I mean, certainly is a character. That's the right word. But at the same time, he's got real mettle, and he's not afraid to up there and take the big plays, which he generally does and does them well.
Those unfamiliar with the foot played up in Queensland would have noted that Luke Berean was wearing a beanie hat there in the semi-final last week. You'd have thought, perhaps with the conditions that we've had here today, that he wouldn't be wearing one today, but that's part of his attire, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a comfort thing for him. We all have little weird superstitions as soccer players. I think everyone does, but that's certainly his one, and stands out a bit more than someone who may put their left shin pad on before their right one, so to speak. But yeah, I think he loves that banter, and I think if the crowd weren't giving it to him, it would affect him more than if they were giving it to him.
Well, he'll certainly be getting plenty of advice today. Another person who'll be getting advice and have the spotlight on him is Merritt Madley. He spoke to Football Queensland earlier this week. Let's hear what he had to say.
How's the team shaping up before the big game?
Oh look, we had an easy week after the 2 games last week, and yeah, we are set to go. We are ready. Obviously, for us it's just another game, you know, and I hope we can manage it well and we bring the double home. If we play the way we've been playing second half of the season, I don't think we will struggle. Yeah, I believe if we play our way, we should be all good.
With plenty of character there, Marek Madley. He's going to be up against another impressive defensive side, Olympic. They've only conceded 26 goals this season, so that's one a game. They conceded another one in the semi-final, but before that, we'll have to check through some of their highlights over the course of the season. There were plenty of highlights. They only lost twice all year, so that's the best record in the league, but did draw probably 5 too many games from Ben Kahn's perspective.
Yeah, great side as well, and it's great to see the top 2 teams in the league in this grand final, because that really is the benchmark that season. And yeah, Lions were Olympic off to an absolute flyer at the start of the season, and then dropped a few points, but nonetheless can score some goals.
They certainly can. Sadka there scoring against Brisbane City, a side that he would eventually join, in no real small part due to the fact that Alex Smith came into the team. Of course, when you score goals like that from some of your players, Jez Lofthouse, like that, you know, it's really quite impressive, and they are threatening Olympic. They have been playing some really good stuff over the course of the year, and I think, just between you and me, Jonty, I think they could pull off something of a shock today. They finished 7 behind Lions in the table, but they're well worth their challenge here today.
Yeah, totally, and I think there's no clear favourite today. Obviously, Lions taking out the premiership was amazing, but yeah, some real great players in there, and Lofthouse, I think, are the standout.
Of course, it wasn't all their own way in the semi-final. They did have to battle against Western Pride, who really flew out the blocks. Joe Duckworth scoring the goal there in the first half that was very well deserved, and it did seem for a moment that Olympic just weren't going to be able to find the back of the net. We see the options there, but then that ball from Shane Stefanuto on his right boot, and then that brilliant turn from Alex Smith, just showing what a quality player he is with that initial strike. And then this free kick was something else entirely, an absolutely wonderful goal to win a semi-final. It's a bullet off the boot there, but he was in real doubt for even making the squad after suffering a really nasty looking ankle injury right at the death in that game. He actually is only on the bench today. How big a loss is that going to be?
Yeah, massive. I think he's one of their form players, and great experience, obviously played at the higher level at the A-League, so they're going to miss him extremely today. But as I said, I think that they probably didn't expect so much out of Lofthouse this season, and he's really done the job for them. But they've got some great players all over the park, great experience in Shelford, Mundy, Stefanuto, the guys that have had that taste of A-League. Yeah, look out for Olympic.
One of those players, key part of the defence of Olympic, is Christian Waters. He spoke at the media day earlier in the week. Let's hear what he had to say now.
How's the team shaping up before the big game this weekend?
The team's shaping up good. Yeah. We're all fit, enthusiastic, and feeling ready for the challenge ahead.
What's going to be the key to the game this weekend to winning?
I think our team bond. That's held us together all year. We're a confident group, lots of experience, and the staff and all the players are a good group together. So I think our fighting spirit will keep us going through and hopefully get the result in the end.
About that beard, to be honest, but Christian Waters is a rugged character, and he's been such a key part of that defence. We'll just take a look at the statistics over the course of the season from these two teams now, and as you've already mentioned, Jonty, it was first versus second, to fairly evenly matched. Of course, a real standout statistic being the 11 goals that Lions conceded. Defence is just absolutely phenomenal. You were a part of this team in the start of the season, in particular in a playing role. What is it about this defence? Is it just the experience?
I think so, and they got a fair bit of pace back there as well, which makes a big difference. In saying I think Olympic are one of the few teams that can match Lions for their physical size, which has really been a benefit to the Lions side this season, where sometimes there's a few smaller sides where Lions have been able to bully around a little bit. But certainly the defensive pairing of Simic and Jared back there, but obviously red card in the semi-final, big loss for the Lions tonight, and yeah, it'll test their defence.
It is going to be really, really key. I think the two players that we saw interviews from just before, Christian Waters and Marek Madley, the battle between those two is going to be fascinating. I can't wait for that. I think it's going to be really tight. And we see these situations, and we'll see the Lions squad now. As you've mentioned, no real surprises. It's just Tommy Jarrett who misses out after the red card, a potentially controversial red card in the semi-final last week. But nevertheless, that's an incredibly strong side, and attacking threats all over the park for Olympic. For Lions, apologies.
Well, that's right. Obviously, Salazano, another one with A-League experience, and he's really come into form at the end of the season. Missed a few games with injury, which didn't help him, but Nathan Reardon as well. He's been around for about 908 years in the NPL level with clubs like Wynnum. So great experience and another good defender.
We have to thank the sponsors for Lions, Motorama and Luxury Paints for all the work that they've done over the course of the year in getting the team onto the park. And we'll now check out the Olympic squad. And there has been an addition to this squad. Number 10, Kieran Sanders, has made the side. He was an absentee last week due to an accumulation of yellow cards, and he was being saved, a former Oxford City player from back in the UK. He spent some time with Far North Queensland as well. He's a really important player in the midfield for Olympic, and again, can score goals. He's managed 8 of them this season. He's a real threat that Lions are going to have to deal with through the middle of the park.
Yeah, no doubt, but I think Matt Mundy, if he feels like he's on, I think Olympic do well, but if he doesn't feel and he just wants to kick people, then Olympic sometimes go the other way, where he's that sort of player. He can have such an influence on the game. It's just where his head's at.
Matt Mundy was sent off earlier on in the season. Coffee Club, the major sponsors of Olympic, so thanks a lot to them for getting Olympic on the park and for bringing so many fans here. It's just a phenomenal atmosphere here at Lions Stadium, here at Richlands. There's really a phenomenal number of red and white shirts behind the goal down to our right-hand side. That's going to make it really interesting, because I don't think Lions outnumber Olympic here in terms of supporters.
Well, they're certainly the more vocal of the supporters at the moment, but it's great to see you've got a few loudspeakers in there, drum sets. Hopefully, maybe I won't say it out loud, but a sneaky flair in there as well. But it's good to, sometimes we can go overboard with trying to shut that down, and it's really making for a great atmosphere. But let's hope Olympic give them something to cheer about.
Well, that atmosphere could cause some issues as the teams are led onto the field by our Total Tools referee, led by Matt Skinner, as we've already mentioned. James Sherry and Joey Lee are his assistants, with Jason Crow, the 4th official today. A top team of officials. They've done incredibly well over the course of the season, and it's a fitting reward for them to be given this grand final, which is the pinnacle of football here in Queensland.
Yeah, and it's also great to see a 4th official for this evening, because it really makes it sometimes hard for the referee to be all over everything on the park, especially with the coaches being quite vocal these days on who they give their pieces of advice to. But having that 4th official should help out a lot. But yeah, great atmosphere and hopefully a great game.
Olympic will be in their away strip of dark navy blue with the white stripe down the middle. As you can see, the two teams walking onto the field, Lions in the traditional orange, and they line up now in front of the fairly well populated grandstand at the clubhouse here, and now a sense of nervous anticipation descends over the two teams and the crowd. The drums have stopped, a bit of a hush. You've played in big games such as these, John C. What goes through a player's mind in situations like this just before kickoff?
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose a lot of guys will be nervous, and sometimes that can take a player two ways. Nerves isn't a bad thing. It means you care. It means you're really concentrating on what you need to do tonight. But let's just hope no one goes into their shell. They all give it their all. It's a super tight game and no controversial talking points. I think that's what we're all here to see, and hopefully a great contest.
Should be a fantastic atmosphere. As you said, there's no excuses from the conditions. They are absolutely perfect. The pitch is a carpet. They do such a great job out here at Richlands, getting this field in such brilliant condition at this stage of the season as well. And it
I know Mick, the groundsman, has been very vocal about the amount of games he's had to put on this main pitch. But calm down, Mick. You've done a good job, mate. It looks great. And, yeah, no excuses.
It all builds up to this moment, doesn't it? And I think groundsmen would be happy if nobody ever walked anywhere near their fields, to be honest. They can kept immaculate. But they have done an incredible job. So congratulations to Mick. And congratulations, of course, to both teams for making it to this grand final. The two teams are now in their huddle, joined by their captains. The captain for Olympic is Danny Byrne. He'll be in the number 9 jersey. And, of course, Matija Simic, who has been an absolute colossus, really at both ends of the field. He comes up for the corners. He's managed to bag a couple of goals this season as well. Played over 100 games for Lions. He's a former striker, just as yourself, so he followed a well-trodden, familiar path.
Yeah, he's a big lad and a good-looking boy as well. I think he does his washing on his abs. So no need for a washing machine in their house. But, yeah, he's been immense for Lions this season, and I'm sure they'll be looking to him to stand up again. It's
Olympic who break first and get themselves into position. The large figure of Shelford Dias getting in position. He's a handful to deal with up front. It looks like he'll be taking up the responsibilities of leading the line here this evening. And it'll be up to those defenders for Lions, that rock-solid defence, in order to try and keep Olympic out. Last minute predictions, Johnsy. How do you think this one's going to go?
Look, I think it's going to be a tight one. Both sides will be up for this one, and I think it's going to be a 2-1 to Lions. Maybe
2-1.
Madley in the last minute.
Madley in the last minute. What a drama that would be. We're underway here at Lions Stadium in the National Premier League's Queensland Grand Final, and it is Olympic who have given the ball away early to Lions, who will be kicking from right to left eventually once they've sorted things out at the back. And it's Simic who goes wide to his new defensive partner, Nathan Reardon. But here's an opportunity now over on that far side for Lofthouse, and now Telford DS, an early chance, and it's well saved by Luke Berean.
Yeah, tell you what, Lions need to switch on there. You don't want to give Olympic that kind of opportunity where Shelford there, I don't think he was too confident on his weaker foot and really just dribbled into Berean, where we know how his level, you're going to have to do well to beat him from there.
Perhaps some nerves just creeping in at the start here for the hosts in front of a big crowd and a very vocal crowd behind that goal. And as you've already mentioned, Luke Berean won't worry too much about that. He'll fire him up if anything. And now an early opportunity for one of the internationals on the field today, or former internationals, I should say, Stain Stefanuto, but he was put under pressure from Madley there. An opportunity for Carlos to swing the ball in. Mitch Hawes following in. And Mooney goes down, offers a couple of words to young Mitch Haw.
Not much in that, I don't think. The keeper could have come out and got that a bit earlier if he didn't want the contact, but Mitch Haw saw a little opportunity there and kept going. A little bit heavy from Sean Carlos, maybe too much Caesar salad on the chicken at lunch, but another opportunity for Lions, so fairly open at the moment.
Very open start. Steve White and Jez Lofthouse now, such an exciting player to watch. We saw the goal that he scored in the wrap before the game. Here's Shelford Dice, he's going to let fly now, and he got hold of that one, but came off the back of a Lions defender, and Olympic will retain possession. It's a good start from Olympic. Sanders is going to go all the way back, and now forwards. Lofthouse, asking a lot of Lofthouse, and then from one exciting youngster to another. Lofthouse dispossessed by Mitch Haw. Here's Josh Brindle South, formerly of Wellington Phoenix, just played for 4 games for Wellington, picks up the ball once again from Jason Makwaze. Danny Kim goes all the way back to his captain, Matthias Simic. Reardon with the long one, asking a lot of Makwaze, and once again Mooney taking his time but picking up the ball and doing well, releasing it now to another stalwart of this Olympic side, Kazuya Ito.
A little bit of wind picking up now as well as the sun goes down here at Lions, which is a common occurrence, but could cause a few troubles for a few players, but usually once the sun goes down that'll die down. But nonetheless, a few nervy passes from a few players. Lions trying to get in their rhythm of keeping the ball, but also looking to get those diags in and get in behind Olympic.
Both teams have a lot of experience. Lions less so at this level. Of course, only joined the National Premier Leagues this season after really dominating local football in the Football Brisbane competitions, the Flight Centre Brisbane Premier League. They ended as champions of that competition, and they're hoping to do the same on their first time of asking here in the statewide competition.
Chris Beath just trying to play advantage there, which is always nice to see from the referees. Just don't want it to play too long, but a little shove there on Makwase. I think for both sides, quite a long season for players at this level anyway. Both sides doing quite well in the FFA Cup as well, to getting to the advanced stages. So a few tired legs, I think, and hopefully it doesn't affect too many people today.
Ball is delivered in by Andy Thompson. That's a really good take by Nick Mooney. Came flying across a whole pack of bodies, took the mark high above his head, and he'll distribute play now. You mentioned the FFA Cup. Of course, 2 sides were drawn against each other here at Lions Stadium to ensure, of course, that a Queensland side progressed to the round of 16, which was Olympic, who failed to do so in a game that was full of drama. It's Jez Lofthouse now slips the ball through towards Diaz. Diaz goes down, and it is a free kick. Nathan Reardon did wave the finger.
He's claiming he's got the ball there. It'll be interesting to see the replay, which we've got the benefit of today, but Chris Beath doing well again. We'll just see the card that's going to come out. Currently, probably the right decision by the referee, but Yeah, Nathan Reardon not happy about that one, and a great opportunity here for Olympic.
Reardon not, of course, the usual centre-back, and that's perhaps a little bit of time getting back into the speed of the game.
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
And
he
the
hasn't
pace of the
started too
level.
many games this season, and I didn't actually see if a card came out there, but maybe the referee felt that Brindle South had enough cover there, which he did. I don't think Dace would have retrieved the ball if he wasn't fouled, but nonetheless, great opportunity here for White.
I think it'll be Kieran Sanders, actually, who takes the free kick. Although White is a long way back. It's Sanders. That's a good effort. It's parried away by Luke Borean. Looked fairly comfortable, a bit more dramatic,
Yeah,
perhaps.
I think he saw it late, but nice little one there, trying to go around the wall rather than over it. Maybe just caught Borean slightly off guard, but a great save nonetheless.
What price would they have asked for to have Alex Smith on the field for that situation after last week's heroics in the semi-final against Western Pride? Glorious free kick struck by the former Wellington man. That's just lofted back inside, and Borean makes a meal of that. That's the bean he got in his eyes.
Yeah, a little bit of communication there would have been nicer on the both of them as they both give a hands up saying sorry, but Lofthouse now in great position.
And then Lofthouse has gone down. He's thought for a moment he would be slow to get up there, but he has managed to get to his feet. It can be nasty sometimes. I don't need to explain to you about knee injuries, Jonty, unfortunately, but
That's right. Well, hopefully he's got a nice young cartilage in there still. But yeah, nonetheless, another great opportunity here for Olympic with this corner.
swung in, well dealt with by Thompson, but it's still there for Olympic and Steve White. White with the long range efforts. That wasn't far away at all.
Yeah, this will give Olympic some confidence, a few early opportunities. They certainly are on top of Lions at the moment, but yeah, you want to capitalise because, as we said, Lions don't give up too many opportunities. Great noise there from the Olympic supporters as well, giving it to Borean there, but yeah, I think he thrives on this kind of stuff, to be honest.
He is that sort of character, and he's getting plenty of advice from the red and white masses behind the goal, and an astute observation perhaps from the Olympic supporters. That's nice from Matt Mundy. You mentioned he'd be a key player, and he's proving so there. Quasi just getting in the way of Danny Byrne as well. A little bit of afters there, but nothing doing, says referee Skinner, and Lions will take possession. Oh, that's cool, calm and collected from Matthias Simic. Excellent composure from the centre-back.
I think he had time to get the tic-tacs out, pop a couple, and just played it off cool as a cucumber, but great work there by Simic.
Good work again by Thompson. But again, another turnover, and let's see how Olympic can go in the transition. It was well read, though, by Simic. He can't gain possession. Off to Nelfi Nasri, and here's an opportunity now for Kazuya Ito. Ito up against Brindle South. Ito still retains possession, but Brindle South did well in the end. Gets support in Danny Kim and Jason McQuarrie, and is forced all the way back now to Kristen Waters, and Jason McQuarrie goes down. Kristen
Waters not happy with that one, but great work by Madley there just to make it hard for him, and poor touch by the big fella. Yeah, it's always tougher. Not quite as cool as Simic at the back, unfortunately. A bit more robust in his technique, but foul nonetheless on McQuarrie.
That's excellent work from the captain. That sort of confidence, you know, comes from playing over 100 games, coming back from a serious injury as well. Like he's really done it all for Lions after moving from the Perry Park-based strikers, and he'll be hoping to lead his side to the Premiership Championship double here this afternoon. But to do that, they need the ball, and at the moment, Olympic are enjoying the majority of that possession as Steve White goes down somewhat theatrically. There was a touch, though.
Yeah, I mean, certainly played for that one. I think Simic knew what he was doing as well, so all around good decision by the referee, as there's a few finger pointing. I'm not sure if I would try and take on Simic there for White, but maybe he fancies himself.
Steve White, former Central Coast Mariners Academy captain, spent some time in the States as well in the United Soccer League with Seattle Sounders too, so a bit of a globe trotter. And he has really given Olympic a real sense of solidity in their midfield this year, along with all the other players that have played such a key role in their race to second spot on the ladder. Kieran Sanders, of course, being another key factor in that. He's the man standing over the ball now, ready to deliver this free kick. Mundy drops off the back. It's Mundy, and then Waters is there too. The flag was up.
I mean, great ball in there by the number 10, Saunders again, back post. There was a 2-on-1 there for Olympic, so quite lucky that the work held offside if you're a Lions supporter. But, yeah, again, Olympic probably just shading it at the moment, a little bit slow out the box from Lions. But, as you said, still a long way to go in this match.
Spent last year at Edgeworth Eagles, did Kieran Saunders, and of course that's who the Lions will take on next weekend from the Northern New South Wales National Premier Leagues. The champions, the premiers down there. They lost their grand final yesterday to Broadmeadow Magic. But Lions back on the national stage.
I think it's good too that they reward the premiers in each competition rather than the grand final winners, because as we said, someone could finish 4th, 15, 16, 20 points behind, get lucky in 2 games and take on the national championship. So it's good to see Lions taking part in that one, and great to see Olympic and Lions in this grand final.
First v second on the ladder. The two top teams in the league, and they've both proven that over the course of the season. Just losing 5 games between them. It's a fairly weak ball, but it's only cleared as far as Mitch Hoare, and now Sean Carlos is there to spread the ball wide to Josh Brindle-South. Brindle-South cuts back inside. He's going to shoot here. That's an excellent shot and an excellent save by Nick Mooney. It bounced horribly in front of the Olympic goalkeeper, and he had to use all his guile and experience to just deflect it away and wide, and then that is a rather wasted cross, and it'll be out for a goal kick.
Tell you what, Brindle-South really wound up the right peg there. We didn't know he had one in the bag, but it's good to see he does have one. But that's probably a really good shot in terms of where he's put it, and bouncing right in front of the keeper, really difficult, but nonetheless a great save.
That ball just about missed us here in the commentary box.
We just told Mooney he gave us a great save and then tried to hit us. But yeah, great parry by him. Got it to safety and Olympic escape.
This one's coming straight back as well. Not quite as far this time. That was a lovely shot from Brindle-South. He scored 1 goal this season, the 25-year-old. Only managed 1 goal over the last 2 seasons. Spent some time in the National Premier League's Victoria with Bentley Greens and Green Gully. Not expected to score at left back, of course, but when you do chip in with a couple of
He
goals,
gets in
it is
great
nice.
areas. I think he should try and wind up a bit more, but it's probably one of those things, just that confidence to hit it with your wrong foot sometimes, where a bit of a turnover here.
Interception from Solazano, and advantage being played again. Madley, it's gone through to Mitch Hoare. Mitch Hoare had enough time there to turn, and instead he tried for a little flick out the back to Jason Bakwaze. You have to say that was the wrong option from the former Brisbane City midfielder.
That's right. I think any striker in that position has that little bit of greediness about him. Would have Cruyff turned it and had a ping himself. But, yeah, credit to Mitch trying to play in his teammates there, just not quite coming off.
He does have a fairly decent right foot, does Mitch Hoare. He scores plenty of goals.
We're also live now on YouTube for those who couldn't get on before, but on the Facebook page of Football Queensland as well as the YouTube channel. So apologies for those people who couldn't watch us on YouTube.
Watch all the games, of course, at footballqueensland.com.au/live. So
Lofthouse now, bad clearance there by Borean.
Oh, here's an opportunity for White. Breaks into the penalty area. 1-0 Olympic. That's a sensational goal from Steve White. It's just his 6th goal of the season. And what a time to get it. Celebrating in front of the supporters now. The supporters going absolutely wild behind the goal here at the Lion Ridgelands. And it is the visitors who have taken the lead here in the National Premier League's Queensland Grand Final.
Tell you what, he's done well to stay on his feet there as well. He had to shake off a few challenges, but he's done really well and just put it in the corner. Not much Borean could do there. Poor clearance initially by Lions, and yeah, he's really taken that chance as he should. But poor defence there from Lions, which you don't really say too much. But 1-0 Olympic. Really, well, early goals always great for a grand final, so let's see how Lions respond.
Don't like pointing fingers, but it was that right side of the back four that let the ball through, and that is where Tommy Jarrett would normally be playing, and just shows just how important a decision it was in the semi-final to show that red card. And Lions now with their backs against the wall, though there's so much time remaining, just a quarter of an hour gone here at Lions Stadium. And you're right, early goals do help grand finals, and will we get an equaliser pretty shortly after? Makwaze just hammering that one into the Olympic defence. He comes up with the ball once more. A little bit tricky, but trying to do a little bit too much, and Danny Byrne has seen it all before 100 times in his 110 plus games for Olympic, and he'll be able to deal with that all day.
Makwase, one of the sharpest players, got great skill, but just, sometimes that overplaying is what he does. And
lovely ball, here's Madley. Tried to squeeze it through again to Makwase when probably the shot was on again for Lions, and a little bit shot shy, trigger shy.
Yeah, well, I think I've said it a few times in the semi-final, but sometimes you just got to have a go. You can pass it around 700 times into the box. It's not going to give you a goal. Sometimes you just got to pull that trigger, and sometimes it skews off the laces into the top corner. You just don't have to tell anyone, but that can change a game.
Saw that early shot from Josh Brindle-South caused a few problems for Nick Mooney, and since then I don't think Olympic have really had to deal with too much other than Lions passing the ball around on the edge of the penalty area.
Free kick here to Olympic, but just a little bit of tempo out the game after that goal there, and Lions just a little bit lethargic. A lot of games at this back end of the season. I think that the FFA Cup game against Adelaide really sapped them, as we saw in the semi-final, but nonetheless, you're here in the grand final and you've got to give it everything.
It's a one-off game to decide the champions of Queensland as Zelfin Azari goes down. There's a big appeal from the red and white shirts behind the goal, but the man who counts is the man wearing green in the middle, and Matt Skinner, Total Tools referee, was completely unmoved, and another robust challenge, and I'll tell you what, Jason Makwase has not liked that, and it's a good job Lions played on quickly there, otherwise that could have escalated.
Yeah, I think a bit of frustration there from Makwase because he's not quite in this game, but certainly a rough challenge on him there, but well done for just playing on their lines as the game continues.
Brindle-South slips that ball into Mitch Hoare. He's been active early. Mitch Hoare squeezes it in. It's headed clear by Mundy. Only as far as Carlos and Brindle-South. Brindle-South wide again to Mitch Hoare. Hoare has a lot of time and he'll deliver that ball right into his opposite number, Kazuya Ito, and it'll be a corner for Lions.
Good work by Ito there. Sometimes it's worse when you have that amount of time, but I think good shout out to Chris Beath there. The game's flowing nicely. He's blowing free kicks where he shouldn't. I think sometimes the referees can get overzealous with the free kicks and also the talking to players. We've got to stop the game and have a minute's chat every time. Just get on with it. We all know what soccer's about and just keep that game flowing. So credit to the referee so far.
That's the first time I've ever heard you say that, Jonty.
I know. I don't know what's happened to me.
It's Andy Thompson who'll deliver this corner deep. Too deep in the end.
I've got to apologise to Matt Skinner as well because I've called him Chris Beath I think at least 3 times now, but yeah, Matty, you are the best referee here.
I wondered why you're being so complimentary.
That's right. Not to say Chris Beath isn't a good referee either, but he's not here today. We're not on the field. We're not out in the middle anyway.
You may well be watching on the Football Queensland live stream, either on Facebook or YouTube. Thank you for joining us wherever you are watching from. Simon Smale and Jonty Richter bringing you all the action as Danny Byrne of Olympic just tries to go around the outside of Brindle-South and loses his footing a little bit, which is a surprise because this surface is an absolute car.
Tell you what, 2014 he would have got that, Burns there. Very, very experienced player, but just like me, carrying a bit more around the middle as Matt Mundy sticks out a hand.
Clear handball, wasn't it? And now Kieran Sanders just trying to delay the taking of that free kick by Mitch Hoare. Just showing a lot of experience again. There's a lot of experience in both these sides. And here's one of the least experienced players, but one of the most talented, no doubt, Jez Lofthouse. And when he's got space to run into, we better butt ourselves in. Goes inside to Diaz. Diaz over the top to Danny Byrne. And as you mentioned, a few years ago, perhaps Danny Byrne would have gobbled that one up.
That's right. Well, talking about gobbling, I think me and him have both done too much of that lately, and that's why he didn't get there. But yeah, great experienced play and some left foot on him and real danger. But finally the sun is just dipping behind that grandstand. I think it'll make it better for those viewing on this side as well as the players.
Certainly been able to take my sunglasses off for the first time today. It's a beautiful day here in Brisbane on the south side for those of you unfamiliar with the geography. This corner is swept into the near post and it's dealt with fairly comfortably by no fewer than 2 orange-shirted players, and here's Jason Makwase, goes wide to Mitch Hoare, who has spent time in the other side here in Queensland, who plays in orange, or in southeast Queensland, plays in orange. The Raw, or youth side in the National Premier League Queensland, and moved to Brisbane City, had a couple of good years there. And now he's ripping up trees with Lions. Here's Danny Kim, another player who's done phenomenally well. Races into penalty area. Danny Kim still going, and just tried to do a little bit too much, and it was in fact off Danny Kim that ball made its way through to the byline, and that's disappointing for Lions. But Danny Kim was allowed to go a long way there by the Olympic defence.
Yeah, great run by him. He doesn't find himself up there, that part of the park too often, so might not have known quite what to do, but said it again, just pull that trigger. You've dribbled past 4 players, and not the best defending there by Olympic, and really should have done better.
Scored just for 1 goal against North Queensland United this season as Danny Kim. Fascinating backstory. His father was the youngest ever player to play for South Korea. Played in the '94 World Cup and earned over 50 caps for the South Koreans. So,
and I'm pretty sure he was smuggled over the border in a Hyundai as well. That's what he told us one night at training as well, when they came from the north to be South Koreans as well. But nah, good fun there by Danny. Great player as well. He's been a real stalwart for Lions at the defensive midfielder this season.
Has been a real rocker. And just sitting in front of the defence, looks like Sean Carlos goes down. Off the ball, and here's Jez Lofthouse. He's so dangerous on that left-hand side for Olympic, but he's getting crowded out of it a little bit. Still has possession, but that's brilliant work from Jez Lofthouse.
Great sweeping there by Danny Kim as well. But yeah, good. I think you picked it earlier. That left-hand side for Olympic, they're getting a little bit of joy out there, and maybe just a little bit of the pace without Jared there with Reardon, but. They certainly, Lofthouse in particular, finding a fair bit of joy out there. So I think Thompson just needs to get a bit tighter on him. Give any player who likes to dribble, if you give them that space, they'll take it. So really need to shut that down. But Olympic, again, creating slightly better opportunities at this stage.
Such a tricky player, and has proven that over the course of the season. He's just been in such spectacular form since making the move down from the Sunshine Coast. He is just a brilliant player, and he's exciting to watch, and he's one of the young players that's been coming through the league this year, and there's been plenty of them, and it's really exciting for football in this part of the world to see those players developing before they move down to Victoria and end up playing in the National Premier League.
That's right,
down there.
Chase a bit of dollars, but also a better competition. But yeah, it is good to see them get an opportunity, which I think the whole point of the NPL. It's a very sloppy pass there by Brindle South, unfortunately, but yeah, some of them are really taking it by the horns and doing well. So yeah, hopefully he gets an opportunity, maybe in another league in the NPL, but one of those continue to do well and develop, and you might get that A-League contract.
Of course, Dylan Wenzel-Halls was tearing up trees here in the National Premier League's Queensland for Western Pride, and he got his dream move to the Roar. He did, in fact, win the Golden Boot, Dylan Wenzel-Halls, despite only playing less than half a season.
And I think, too, he has worked really hard away from the football field, where people just see all his goals, but he's really tried to take it to another level rather than just doing the normal with the team, and that's why he's got his opportunity. But still, good run here.
Excellent work from Sanders. He's a dangerous player as well. It's a great tackle, though, by Reardon. Still with Olympic, though. Shelford Diaz goes back to Kazuya Ito, back to Diaz, and it's well cut out by Sean Carlos, and the counter-attack is on now for Lions. Marek Madley clear on this left-hand side. That's a glorious ball for Madley. Will Madley pull the trigger? He does, but didn't get all of it outside of the boot. And it was a comfortable save in the end for Nick Mooney.
Yeah, we haven't seen enough of that pacey counter-attacking by Lions. I think Olympic are doing really well in that instance. But, yeah, he's done well there. Nice touch off the Carlos pass and tried the toe bash to the far corner, which is probably the right way to go, but easy for Mooney there. Big shout out to the Strikers captain, Michael Angus, tuning in as well on the Facebook page. I just had his little baby boy recently, so life's going to change for the Gus Bus.
Congratulations to Michael Angus. Of course, Sean Carlos, a former teammate of his at Strikers. Spent a couple of years at Perry Park, 33 games and 7 goals in the National Premier League's Queensland. Of course, won a couple of premierships as well. He's managed to just move down the road and do the same here at Lions.
That's right, but yeah, I suppose everyone sees this grand final as the big one, so I think for Lions especially, it'd be a great way to cap off the season, and I suppose for Olympic too, just being second best, unfortunately, to Lions in most of the play this season as Makwasi goes down, so I'm sure they'd really like to get one over the Lions here today. I
looked innocuous, but Makwasi stayed down. Olympic play on with Sanders. Sanders goes wide to Shelford Diaz now, and Makwasi is still down holding that right knee. We'll keep an eye on that.
I think he's just flexing his ankle now as Mooney tends to him there, but I'm sure a bit of the old magic water, a bit of ice spray, and he'll be all right.
Stefanuto wide to Lofthouse. Again, lots of space for Jez Lofthouse. Back inside to Sanders. Lofthouse wants it back, but it's not going to get there. Mitch Hoare having a real ugly looking swing. It's comfortably dealt with by Danny Byrne. He just gets his chest onto that, and here's another chest from Shelford Diaz, who eventually does hammer the ball out, and eventually it will be some treatment being given to Jason McQuarze.
Yeah, I don't
this
think
will be a concern for Warren Moon, don't you think, Johnsy?
That's right, but yeah, hopefully he's all right here. Hopefully it's just innocuous and the physio can sort him out. Maybe he just needs a breather as most of the players head over for a drink, particularly from Lions. But yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't want to make a substitution this early in the match with the possibility, if they can equalise, of extra time. You don't want to be making too many first half substitutions.
Of course, we'll have extra time of 15 minutes each way if we are so inclined, if the scoreline is level after the 90 minutes. But as we've already said, a long way to go, 3/4 of the game to go before we have to start thinking about that too much. There are options on the bench, of course, for Warren Moon. Chris Mars managed 7 goals in his 27 involvements this season, 26-year-old from Kingaroy. Another former striker, Carter Glockner, former Brisbane City player and star at Easts against Lions in the Flight Centre Brisbane Premier League all those years. So there are options, but as you said, Warren Moon won't want to change too much this early, and it is worrying signs as Jason McQuarze just limps over to the field, the 25-year-old from Colombia.
Yeah, a lot of pace on that Lions bench, but probably not quite the skill of McQuarze. So yeah, certainly hoping he's all right there as Olympic fans continue to sing there, which is great to hear. Maybe just the guy in the loudspeaker calm down with the profanities when he's yelling at the goalie. We don't all need to hear that, mate. There's a lot of kids here, but apart from that, again, great support here for Olympic and doing their side proud at the moment, and the side doing them proud as well.
Great atmosphere at the Lion Richlands. It's Jonty Richter, who you hear giving expert analysis here in the National Premier League's Queensland Grand Final. I'm Simon Smale, and we are here at the Lion Richlands, and we are seeing Olympic, who finished in second spot on the ladder in the dark blue, leading Lions, who are the premiers, by 1-0, and it was Steve White who scored that goal. And as of yet, Lions haven't properly tested Nick Mooney other than that brilliant shot from Josh Brindle South.
That's right, and keeper's done really well, the young Olympic keeper there. He's quite confident, coming for a lot of high balls, which I don't always tend to do, but yeah, he's doing great for them tonight, and a fair bit of confidence in him, I suppose, by the defenders.
Quietly confident, as opposed to extrovertly confident in his opposite number, Luke Breen. I say opposite number in the loosest possible term. He's got 90 on the back of his jersey, which won't please the purists.
He is fairly loose, that's for sure, but a great keeper nonetheless. But just to Brad Meredith, Facebook feed, he was wondering why the referee didn't stop it for that injured player, where the referee's just got to decide. If it's not a head knock, he doesn't need to stop it if he doesn't think there's any danger to the player. So very well done there again to Matt Skinner for letting that play carry on, and Olympic got the ball back anyway. So great play all around both sides, great sportsmanship.
Good breeding ground for referees up here in Queensland. There's plenty stepping up to the national level. They've been sponsored fantastically by Total Tools this year, so thank you very much for that. Olympic win a turnover once more, and here's Danny Byrne in a little bit of space. Delphi Nazari was left on the ground. Danny Byrne needs a little bit of support. Finds that support in White. Now Nazari, who's back on his feet. White once more. White to Lofthouse. Patient build-up from Olympic after the initial break. Here's Shane Stefanuto.
McQuarze still receiving treatment, so the old magic ice didn't do the trick, but Olympic probably didn't want to see that break as they attack here again with great space out wide, but they seem to have left off where they were prior to that injury anyway.
Kazuya Ito cutting back inside. Here's Danny Byrne, lovely ball from Ito. Byrne across the middle, over the top.
Great play there by Olympic, but I tell you what, Shelford Diaz has done well to get that over the crossbar. It was, to be fair, a little bit behind him and a fair bit of Lions presence around him, but as we see, Danny Byrne with a great ball in, just behind him there, and he's Unfortunately, it's not AFL. They're not going to give you 1 point for trying there. But, yeah, great opportunity for Olympic, and Lions get away with that one there.
Would have been a cracking point in Gaelic, but that's not the game we're playing here, and that's a big disappointment for Olympic. They could have been staring at a 2-goal lead and taking real advantage of Lions while they're down a man. Because, as you've already mentioned, Jonty.
Yeah, I think just a bit extra strapping being applied there, so obviously some damage to that ankle, but Olympic really pressing them here while they are a man down.
And what will be the thought process of Warren Moon here? Will he be saying to Jason, just try and get through to half-time? I don't want to change things up too early.
I think so. I think he just doesn't want to be a man down at the moment, especially with Olympic pressing quite well. But, yeah, Lions really need to tighten up these wide areas. They got a great midfield 3, but they just seem to be getting overrun out wide. And again, Danny Byrne, their great experienced Olympic player, doing all sorts of havoc there, as well as the young Lofthouse.
Good header by Reardon to clear, but it's going to come straight back towards him. Danny Byrne chipping one over the top. Onside is the call on Zelfi Nazari. Nazari goes down. It's another foul by Nathan Reardon, and a yellow card is shown.
Yeah, it looks like he just ran across him there. Interesting one. I mean, there was certainly contact. But we'll just wait to see the replay here.
Luke Ryan was really unhappy with the decision, but
that's right. Same with Nathan Reardon, who's been yellow carded. But yeah, Nazari going away from goal there too. So I don't think he was a goal threat. I mean, let's see here on the replay. Coming together of legs. I mean, it's one of those. You're close enough, but a probably good decision by the referee. He certainly was going away from goal. Be interesting to see the replay on that offside there. He did look to be quite away on past the defenders when receiving that ball. Oh, he did just clipped him there, but very unintentional there by Reardon.
Great camera work from our double take team, giving you that extra angle, and that did show just the slightest of ankle taps from Nathan Reardon. As you say, Jonty, completely unintentional, but we have now, in fact, seen a substitution.
Shepherd on, so Nathan Shepherd, number 11, coming on for Lions. Makwaise's succumbed to that ankle injury, unfortunately.
Big moment in this game.
But no pressure on young Shepherd, straight into the fire right here.
Only scored for 1 goal this season, Nathan Shepherd against North Queensland United.
I think White standing over this one, as well as Saunders, so it'll be interesting to see who takes this one on the left foot, but 5 people in the wall there for Lions, so a fair bit of concern for Borean, and yeah, again, I suppose they were really wishing that Smith was out there.
Alex Smith on the bench, Kieran Saunders and Steve White both standing over it. Bit of pushing and shoving in the middle. That's Skinner just waiting for that to subside before he gives the go-ahead for this free kick. Steve White, I think, is going to take this. No, it's going to be Saunders over the top of the wall and the crossbar. A good opportunity again. It was probably a little bit too close to get that ball up and over the top.
Yeah, it is a difficult one. You really need some great technique there, but yeah, it didn't trouble Borean at all there. As we shout out to Graham Harvey, watching the former Pride coach, watching out at Hong Kong there. I hope it's about 39 degrees and that, 98% humidity for him. But he's probably in the aircon enjoying a nice beer watching this one.
Here's Mitch Hoare picking up the loose ball, plays the ball over the top towards Shepherd. Shepherd with the shot, and it was good save in the end by Mooney, who was well placed. Managed to get down well, and Lions suddenly have burst into life. Now they're back up to 11 men. Another piece of brilliant work by Mitch Hoare, and then, unfortunately for Lions, Andy Thompson just couldn't back it up. He slipped over on the surface. Yeah, a couple of players slipping down in front of that Olympic bench.
Good first touch there by Shepherd as well. He'd be probably happy with that, get a bit of confidence. But yeah, again there, I think same for Olympic. Lions getting some joy out wide here. It's quite congested in the midfield there, so certainly worth getting this ball out wide into the open spaces.
Mitch Hoare working hard, but can't quite get back to that ball before Danny Byrne. But Danny Byrne coughs it up to Matthias Simic. Now here's Josh Brindle-South. Back to Simic. Simic goes long to Solazano, who's been an anonymous figure so far in this game for Lions.
Yeah, Stefanuto and Mundy over that side. Great experience out. There's Lofthouse again, attacks down this left-hand side for Olympic.
Trouble for Thompson. Lofthouse still going. Lofthouse with the shot. He can hit them from there. As we saw in the highlights package before kickoff, he can really get one into the top corner. It was a magnificent goal that he scored out at the Logan Metro Sports Field against Brisbane Raw Youth, and in fact that was the first game out there, and what a way to christen that ground for the National Premier League's Queensland with a goal like that from
great winger,
Lofthouse.
great winger play as well. He had a lot of space, but it was a long way from goal, and just kept dribbling to get into that box as you should. Nice footwork, and again, percentages, you've got to hit that far post as he tried to do there, but unfortunately it didn't come off.
Nice piece of skill over on that far side by Mundy. And the free kick is won by the men in dark blue, and just in front of us here, Danny Byrne is having a few words with Kazuya Ito, asking for a little bit more service down this near side. Byrne, after delivering that gorgeous cross down into the middle that inexplicably Shelford Dias managed to hit over the top, he started to get the hunger, and he's certainly keen for a little bit more of that. And in order to get the ball back into the middle where he can feed Zelfin Azari and Shelford Dias the ball a little bit more often and cause the Lions defence a whole lot more problems. Here's Jez Lofthouse with a curling cross, but Danny Byrne had gone near post, the cross went far. It will be a goal kick to Lions.
Yeah, Nazari trialled early in the season with Lions, but unfortunately had the visa spots full already, so quite a handy player, the young guy, well, not so young guy, but certainly works hard up front there, and gives Olympic. It's one of those unsung sort of hero guys where does the dirty work and maybe doesn't always get the goals, but you really need that from him up there in the front third.
Just 4 this season from the former Balcatta man out in WA. Lofthouse just turns that ball over to Matthias Simic. That's a lovely ball forward towards Shepherd. Shepherd inside to Madley. Was that a hand by
Mundy, I think?
Mundy?
It certainly looked like it came off his arm. A little bit of a tangle there with Madley, but yeah, the referee played on.
You might see that again. Here's Mitch Hoare. Curls that one over the top of Marek Madley, and Madley screams at Matt Skinner, who certainly heard him and stopped and squared up in the way that referees sometimes do when they feel like they're going to... Well, no, it did look like he got ahead. It's good defending, I think, from Matt Mundy there. There
one of those bat pads, I think. Bat pad off the head onto the bicep. But
Mitch Hoare over the top now. Madley just too far in front of him. Madley's still talking.
I think he wants a corner there, but maybe a bit of frustration again from Madley. Or they do have the corner, so he's appealing for something else. But yeah, he's holding his face there. Maybe a bit of an elbow there from Mundy, but I don't think there was too much intention in it. And as I said, a bit of bat pad. I don't think Mundy was intentionally playing his arm, so fair play to the referee once again.
Nathan Reardon and Marek Madley just had a little bit of a conversation there with our Total Tools referee Matt Skinner. The corner swept in from that far side, and it's missed by Stefanuto. Hacked clear only as far as Mitch Hoare. Mitch Hoare can hit them. He does hit this one, but it was a weak little daisy cutter along the ground with his left foot. That's not his favoured effort.
No, not his forte. As we said, it's good to see him pulling the trigger there, but yeah, no calves, no quads. It's very hard to get any power on those. I'm pretty sure they call him toothpicks in the gym. But yeah, a great midfielder nonetheless. He can outrun anyone that I've ever seen at this level, certainly as well. But fortunately, there's no power on the left foot.
Got a tremendous engine, Mitch Hoare. He moved to be with his brother Henry, who is now, of course, in the Perth Glory setup out west. So congratulations to Henry. His ball's scrapped all the way through to Marek Madley, and Madley and Mooney just come together. Again, more pressure, that time from Reardon, who's up in the rarefied air of the attacking quarter of the field, and he's going to want to make his way back pretty quickly because Olympic have the ball now with his chief tormentor at the moment, Jez Lofthouse, but he is dispossessed by the aforementioned Mitch Hoare, and now he's dispossessed. A few turnovers over on that far side.
10 minutes to go here with a bit of stoppage time. I think Lions getting a few opportunities here. I think they'd really like to pinch one. Just getting on top slightly, and Olympic making a few uncharacteristic errors at the moment.
Madley just motioned that he might have got a little push in the back there. There's no foul, says Matt Skinner. And the Lions are just crabbing their way up that far side of the field. Will be another throw in, and you'd expect Nathan Reardon to launch this one with his long levers to get that into the box. You can see Matthias Simic just trotting into the penalty area, and
yeah, a few tired legs here from Lions. I think slowing it down where you'd think they'd be going the other way, being a goal down, but maybe that's an indication of how they're feeling at the moment. Although Reardon does have a great throw in his arsenal, so hopefully he can put it right in the mixer and see what happens.
hoping to make the most of what is essentially a set piece akin to a corner with the length of these throws. It is helped in, it's still there, hacked away by Stefanuto. It'll come straight back, but Danny Kim's header didn't get enough purchase, and the ball ends up all the way down at the other end of the field with Luke Bryan, who...
Yeah, great clearance there. That's what you want when you're clearing your lines. Sometimes the player's afraid to do that, but sometimes it's better just get set again and go and get rid of that ball.
Kim's going to be sandwiched here. Zelfin Azari just used his body well, but that wasn't the opinion of Matt Skinner, and it is a free kick to Lions. It's taken relatively quickly by Mitchell. Ball was rolling, but you don't like seeing play being called back for that, so good work again from Matt Skinner, using his initiative and common sense. And then Mitch Hoare up against Kieran Sanders, and
probably was better off leaving that to Shepherd there, who had the momentum, but throwing to Lions nonetheless. And yeah, they're trying to pick up the tempo slightly here, maybe pinch one.
Shepherd to Brindle South. He goes all the way back to his captain, Matija Simic, who's the furthest player, challenged by the furthest player forward for Olympic, Shelford Diaz, who is inside his own half still. All 11 Olympic players inside their own half as Mitchell gets the ball on the edge of the area, gets caught under his feet and he can't get the shot away before being closed down by Kristen Waters. Another opportunity now for Olympic to break, but they can't squeeze it through to Zelfin Azari, and Lions will come again. Just 4 minutes remaining.
They just can't get out at the moment at Olympic, which is positive if you're a Lions supporter, but not the best cross there from Brindle South earlier. You just really got to hit those areas. I think we talk about it a lot at this level. Just those final passes just don't seem to find the mark enough.
Hacked clear by Lofthouse. Be dealt with by Simic. There's no Olympic player within 20 yards of the Lions captain, so he takes his time in feeding Brindle South. It's back with Simic, who's closed down eventually and belatedly by Zelfin Azari. Now Mitch Hoare, and Mitch Hoare again gets the ball caught under his feet, and under pressure from Danny Byrne, just pokes a little bit too far wide of Nathan Shepherd. It'll be a throw into Olympic on this near side.
Heavy pass there, but he's certainly doing his bit for the Lions team, getting on the ball, and that's what you want when the chips are down a little bit. You need players wanting to get on the ball, and Mitch is certainly not shirking the responsibility in there, but I think Olympic sitting off, and they're happy to get to half-time 1-0 by the looks of things, but they don't want to concede here, that's for sure.
Might well be fairly happy to get to full-time at 1-0 as well, given that this is a grand final and it is winner takes all. In that situation, it's the Premier's Lions trailing Olympic by a goal to nil. Olympic finishing in second on the ladder, just 7 points behind Lions, who really did run away with it in the second half of the season. Olympic looked to be the closest challengers throughout the duration of the season, and then really the signing of Marek Madley just changed everything with his 18 goals in 14 games. And the 27-year-old just can't stop scoring. I mean, he managed a rather incredible 23 goals in 14 for Holland Park in the Football Queensland Premier League. So that's a pretty impressive total, 41 goals in both competitions this season.
Yeah, the hardest thing in football to do is score goals. I mean, yes, you do need a rock-solid defence, but if you can't stick it in at the other end, then you're not going to win enough matches. And he's certainly a goal scorer in the true sense of the word. But also, I think when you talk about players like Barisha, I know a different class altogether, but they do the dirty work as well. They're not just the pretty stuff, and that's certainly Madley.
Sometimes as a goal scorer, it's just about getting in the right areas and just letting it go in off any part of your body. As the ball is given away sloppily by Brindle South, glorious back heel by Nazari to Diaz, but Diaz can't squeeze the ball through to Danny Byrne, who comes up with it anyway, showing a little bit more strength for Danny Kim, who goes into the back of Danny Byrne. It's only a throw-in. Yeah,
very lazy there by Brindle South. Again, just that concentration. Everyone's tired, everyone's working hard, but you really got to be switched on mentally. That's when that muscle repetition that all the sciencey guys talk about, that do the prehabs and rehabs and all that stuff, where, yeah, just the mental game's probably the biggest thing, and certainly at this stage of the half.
White, the goal scorer, with the throw, and it's caught on the full by Luke Bryan. So Lions not the only team that have a weapon with a long throw. Steve White can continue that vein of throw-in form. It's helped right upfield, but it'll come straight back the way of Luke Bryan via Shane Stefanuto and Jez Lofthouse, although Lofthouse is dispossessed by 3 Lions players, including Mitch Hoare, and Mitch Hoare concedes a free kick.
Yeah, it looked like he was outnumbered there, but well done to Lofthouse winning that free kick. Stefanuto again strapped up there on the... I'm a bit disappointed he's got rid of the old man bun, whatever he was going for there, because it looked sharp. So Stefo, bring it back, mate. Next season, hopefully you're going around again.
Tell you what, I didn't look like there was much in that in terms of a free kick by us, but that's not what our Total Tools referee Matt saw. We will have one additional minute at the end of this game. Our fourth official, Jason Crow, just giving us that indication, and it's been a pretty impressive half from Olympic, who've done what they needed to do, get that early goal, and now they've sat back and absorbed the pressure that Lions have been able to put onto them.
Yeah, that's right, and you certainly want to be the side going in 1-0 up rather than 1-0 down, but done enough. You said it there, Olympic. Interesting to see if all their supporters trudge down the other end of the field and really cheer them home in the second half. But yeah, I'm sure both coaches really want to get the players in the sheds and get the tactic board out and try and get a game plan for the second half to try and do it for their side.
There's so many of them, I don't think there'll be enough space behind the goal to our left. There's really come in their numbers, have Olympics supporters today. As Luke Bryan puts that one out just in front of us.
Shepherd yelling something out here on the sideline. Not happy about something, but luckily he's Scottish accent is so thick we didn't have a clue what he just said, but certainly not happy there with that pass.
Shelford Diaz winning the throw-in over on this near side.
Yeah, Brindle South getting a bit of a tough time out here on this side. A lot of space for Danny Byrne and Diaz coming out there as well, but maybe just a bit more aggression from him. Probably not his strongest suit to his game, but just get a bit more fiery in there, and he's certainly got the pace and the skill to do the rest.
Now sloppy from Kazuya Ito, but no difference. That is half-time, and we'll just quickly run through some highlights for you from that first half. A first half in which Olympic, the team that finished second on the ladder, lead the reigning Premiers Lions by a goal to nil, and it was Steve White who scored it. We'll check out those highlights now.
Yeah, great start by Olympic and Diaz with the first opportunity there, and again, as we said, on his weaker foot, just lacking that technique there to get some real purchase on the ball, and Borean gobbled that one up.
There's good work from Jez Lofthouse down the left-hand side. He's been impressive so far for my money. He's been very good, and he's on the ball here and plays the ball through once again to Shelford Diaz, who goes down, and it was an untidy tackle from Nathan Reardon, led to that free kick for Olympic, but fortunately it was parried by Luke Breen. A good save. Looked like he
certainly thought it was going to his right-hand side, and quite late he saw it there. Big left mitt, kept that one out. But yeah, as you can see here, early stages, it was certainly all Olympic. Great shot there from distance, and then finally Lions with their effort from edge of the box. Perfect free, shot there from Brindle South, bouncing in front of the keeper, who as well did quite well, as we see the goal there. And pity we didn't see it from earlier, because a mistake there from Lions, and great work by the Olympic man to stay on his feet and bury that one in the corner.
To the delight of the supporters. It just bobbled timely for Marek Madley there on replay. You'd have thought that would have been a good opportunity for him to add to his tally, and then a fairly extravagant miss from Shelford Diaz, who would have been harder to put it where he put it, but a free kick given there as well on the edge of the area, and the first yellow card of this grand final for Nathan Reardon, who has been a late call-up after Tommy Jarrett was sent off in the semi-final, and you do feel that is where the weakness in the Lions' defence is,
yeah, maybe just lacking that pace there of Jarrett, but yeah, certainly Olympic finding some room up the middle, which, yeah, you don't say too much about Lions.
Lions have had plenty of possession, as we've been seeing from these highlights, but just been unable really to get much of an opportunity in front of goal. So very disappointing from them and for their supporters, but for the Olympic fans down to our right, as the sun sets in that direction, giving a glorious sunset, they will be very, very happy with what they've seen so far. It is Lions 0, Olympic 1. We'll come back for the second half in the National Premier League's Queensland Grand Final from the Lion Richlands after these short messages.
Football is my favourite. I love playing it with my friends.
When I score a goal, I celebrate and dream of playing for the Caltex Socceroos.
And this is where it all starts, with the Aldi Mini Roos kick-off program. I grab my shin pads, boot bag, drink bottle and bowl, then join my mates for some fun.
It's great. We learn new skills every week through games and activities. These help us learn about teamwork and respect for others. My mum cheers me on the sidelines. She loves watching me play. She likes it that football is such a safe sport.
But best of all,
We make lots of new friends.
And if we are lucky, we might run into the ambassadors.
Wow, it's Archie Thompson. He's a legend.
and Steph Natley from the Westfield Matildas.
She is amazing. Come and join Australia's biggest football program for kids. Come and join us.
We swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
We did great today.
Football is my favourite. I love playing it with my friends.
When I score a goal, I celebrate and dream of playing for the Caltex Socceroos.
And this is where it all starts, with the Aldi Mini Roos kick-off program. I grab my shin pads, boot bag, drink bottle and bowl, then join my mates for some fun.
It's great. We learn new skills every week through games and activities. These help us learn about teamwork and respect for others.
My mum cheers me on the sidelines. She loves watching me play. She likes it that football is such a safe sport.
But best of all,
We make lots of new friends.
And if we are lucky, we might run into the Aldi Minerals ambassadors.
Wow, it's Archie Thompson. He's a legend. And Steph Natley from the Westfield Matildas. She is amazing. Come and join Australia's biggest football program for kids. Come and join us.
We swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
Welcome back to the Lion Richlands, where the half-time score is Lions 0, Olympic 1. It was 14th minute strike from Steve White that is the difference between the two sides. Just found out at half-time that we had a couple of technical issues at the start of the game, so apologies for that. Full game will be available after the match, so you won't have missed anything, and you didn't miss anything. Stream back in time for the goal, and after that it has been all Lions, but they haven't really been able to make the most of their possession or territory, have they, Johnsy?
That's right. Olympic certainly taking their opportunities, and a lot of joy for Olympic out wide, where I think as for Lions that's certainly an area that they can exploit as well. Two great midfielders, midfields in there, so very cagey and tight, but yeah, a lot of space out wide, so I think both sides really need to exploit that.
The sun setting on another perfect day in the Sunshine State. Absolutely perfect conditions for football. If it wasn't perfect before, it really is now. The sun's gone down, beautiful sky behind the clubhouse, as you can see on your screens now.
Yeah, pitching great condition. Mick came over and berated us because in that technical difficulties we missed his shout out. Great pitch tonight, and second half underway.
Lions kicking things off from left to right in the orange shirts. And Olympic, who finished second to Lions in the National Premier League's Queensland table this season. They are in the dark blue, their away strip. And their supporters, they're in their traditional colours of red and white stripes, and there are plenty of them making plenty of noise behind the goal to our right. And it's making a fantastic atmosphere, isn't it, Johnsy?
That's right. Very great support here for Olympic, and you hope the local fans can be a bit more, the Lions fans can be a bit more vocal as well, where Lofthouse again carrying on his good first half with some action down this left-hand side.
Shelford-Dearce just getting involved as well. The ball is hammered upfield. Madley getting in a bit of a tangle with Matt Mundy, but unable to get the ball, and Mundy heads it back towards Shelford-Dearce, and now Jez Lofthouse. Lofthouse inside to White, the goal scorer. Here's Stefanuto inside to Lofthouse again. Olympic moving the ball around well in these early stages. Waters wide to Kazuya Ito. Ito chips that one in, a rather aimless ball towards where he hoped Zelfi Nazari would be running to, but in the end it was comfortably dealt with by Josh Brindle South, and he wins a free kick to boot.
That's right. Again, yeah, as we spoke about it, Stefanuto and Lofthouse down this left-hand side doing a great job. I think I need to ask Stefanuto what product he puts in his hair, because that he hasn't, not a strand has moved. And a great header there by Stefanuto, as we talked about. Yeah, great experience from him there. He doesn't look phased at all, and Salazano really needs to try and work him a bit more.
This might cause him a few more problems. Juan Carlos Salazano, who was completely anonymous in the first half, has to be said, for Lions. There is an opportunity now for Merritt Madley. He's dangerous in all sorts of situations, running into the ball. Mitch Hoare was there, but it went in between both he and Juan Carlos Salazano. And that's a disappointing end to a very promising move.
Yeah, I'm not sure who slipped there for Olympic down there right-hand side, but Madley in a great area. And again, we talk about it as Dayes now gets the better of Reardon.
Reardon rather overcommitting there, an opportunity now for Shelford-Dearce to race down onto the edge of the area. Needs support, finds support in Danny Byrne, who has a bit of a chase on, but he'll get there in plenty of time ahead of Josh Brindle South. Now goes back to Steve White. Ito cutting across field and asking a little bit too much of the ball, really, to do what he wanted it to do. So Shane Stefanuto is forced to mop up, and he shows his displeasure at Kieran Sanders not spreading the ball wide early. Olympic trying to play up tempo at the start of this second half, just as they did at the start of the first. They were the better team prior to the goal being scored, and then sat back and invited the pressure onto them somewhat by Lions. Lions were unable to capitalise, but can't imagine that will remain the case for too much longer. Here's Mitch Hoare. Lovely ball from Mitch Hoare all the way wide to the substitute Nathan Shepherd, who came on in place of Jason McQuarze early, and Madley's gone down. Stefanuto giving a little bit of advice to the former Holland Park Hawk.
Yeah, good decision there by the referee. He did use his body to try and let shepherd that ball through, so right call there by the referee. But just on that one there, Madley again in a great area and just overhit the cross. We talk about it. You really need to find your mark to take advantage of it. And Olympic went up the other end with Dayes and had a great opportunity, but again, probably just too wide on the pass to Danny Byrne. And as we said, a few years ago, his pace might have got him in better position, but he's not that player anymore. He really needs that ball to feet where he can do damage.
Danny Byrne in the starting lineup in place of Alex Smith, who succumbed to an ankle injury that he suffered in the semi-final victory over Western Pride last week. And it was a nasty tackle in the closing stages of that match, as Matt Skinner, our Total Tools referee, just has a word with Shane Stefanuto. Stefanuto has a history of getting a little bit too chatty with the referees on occasion, as Zelfi Nazari could have done better, really. It was a...
Should have. I mean, again, the Lions getting beat in behind, which is a very rare thing from them. So something I think maybe Olympic have pinpointed and certainly causing trouble there. But just ball watching again, Simon, I think, really shouldn't drop in that hole there. And Simic and Reardon really need to watch that.
It was sloppy. You don't often say that about this Lions team, and you haven't said that about this Lions team so far this season. They've been really the landmark defensive outfit in the competitions, conceding just one goal every 112 minutes during the course of the regular season. It's just 11 goals in 26 matches. Olympic haven't done too badly themselves, going at a goal a game, 26 from their 26 regular season games. And just for one in the semi-final, as Stefanuto launches that ball upfield, but it's going to come straight back to Stefanuto, who puts it straight back towards where Zelfi Nazari wants to be, and Nazari concedes a free kick for a bit of a shove on Nathan Reardon. Again, looked a little soft to me. But
yeah, I mean, smart play by Reardon. He just waited for the contact and went down. Silly from Nazari. He had him in a real good position there with back in the corner, and Thompson does well there to evade that challenge by Lofthouse, but a bit sloppy at the back here from Lions. They really need to lift that tempo and get this ball up the field, as Reardon does here.
It finished all square during the regular season between these two teams, one apiece, and it was 1-0 on both occasions in round 3 back in February. It seems like a long time ago now, when Jez Lofthouse scored in the 7th minute to give Olympic a 1-0 victory at Goodwin Park. And then here at Lions Stadium, it was Marit Madley who scored the only goal of the game, a game in which Matt Mundy was sent off 4 minutes into stoppage time at the end of the game. And of course, we have already mentioned the FFA Cup round of 32 tie between these two sides. 3-2 that finished, and it was a questionable goal perhaps at the end. The Olympic supporters will be talking about that long into the future, I'd imagine.
Yeah, look, I mean, tough game where Lions came out the blocks, but late winner there by, I think, Carter Glockner, where I think finally when we got the replays showed he was onside, but yeah, it's one of those. It's in the past now anyway, and Olympic currently with the upper hand. So
the longer time goes on, the more he would be onside from Lions supporters and more he'll be offside from Olympic supporters, no doubt. Olympic have just won the title in Sydney, 3-1 over APL Leichhardt, so congratulations to the Sydney Olympic as Mitch Horse shoots. Well saved by Nick Mooney. It was straight at him, didn't have to move. The former Far North Queensland Heat player, Shane Stefanuto, just shows that he's still got the skills.
Just like his hair, slick footwork there. And yeah, it doesn't faze him, he's seen it all before. Great work by Stefanuto.
Fantastic addition to this Olympic side for the young players, particularly young Jez Lofthouse, who plays in front of him. If you watch Olympic enough, you'll see Stefanuto, just as he's done there, direct Jez Lofthouse to where he needs to be. He's vastly experienced, Stefanuto. Played 3 times for the Socceroos, played over 100 games for Strikers in the old NSL, over 130 games for the Brisbane Roar in the Hyundai A-League, as well as a few games for Far North Queensland, or North Queensland United, apologies.
Yeah, and a great professional, and as you said, probably doesn't do as many overlapping runs anymore, but there's no better talker, I think, in the NPL, and well, Gus Bus might attest to that over for Brisbane Strikers, but corner here for Lions. Yeah, great support for Lofthouse there, and he'll certainly take a lot of information from Stefanuto, not only on game day, but I'm sure around the training paddock as well, and they can really learn off someone who's been such a professional over a very long time.
He does do a fair bit of talk. It gets him in trouble sometimes, Shane Stefanuto. I think 6 of his 7 yellow cards this season have been for dissent. It was only a tackle against strikers at Perry Park was the first foul that he's actually committed, I think, in the National Premier League.
Does love a chat to the referees, but just a good competitor, I think.
Corner's swept in. It's a difficult one. It's headed clear by Sanders at the front post. The Olympic will allow this one to run out, but that was a decent corner whipped in from the far side, and it did need a good header from Kieran Sanders just to deflect it away from danger.
That's right, and I think off the back of Madley on the far post here, but yeah, great ball whipped in there. Lions need more of that, really test out the keeper.
It's a good header from Reardon. Mitch Hall keeps it in, but he's dispossessed.
Mitch Hall everywhere again. I think he had the last shot there for Lions as well, but just doing great work in midfield there. Really needs a few of his teammates to go with him and try and step up a bit.
Lovely flick inside for Shepherd by Solorzano, but again Solorzano just not having the impact that he'd like. And that's sloppy from Matthias Simic, and that allows Zelfin Nazari to race down on goal. It's Nathan Reardon who comes back to halt his progress. Olympics still have an opportunity through Jez Lofthouse on this near side. He cuts back inside. He's dangerous in these situations. That was a little bit further away than I thought.
Yeah,
on
I think
first
so,
viewing.
but sloppy there by Simic at the back, and Reardon did really well to come across. I think that's a bit of awareness there from Nazari. Could have had Reardon in all sorts. Someone on a yellow card. You just got to tear in for goal there. Doesn't matter. Just try and get across him. And I'm sure Reardon would have been in all sorts of trouble, but turned out there by Nazari, and he kept the ball, and Lofthouse with a great effort to the far post, but not quite close enough. Deflected
wide by Danny Kim in the end, so excellent defending from the home side, but they're up against the wall, and looks like Shelford went to deck there. He's back on his feet, and there's plenty of movement and wrestling going on in the middle. It's a head by Sean Carlos at the near post, but it's still there. Here's Kieran
Saunders, I believe.
It was Kieran Waters who managed to get the shot away, and then Danny Byrne just hit it back inside. It's in at the back post, but the flag was up, and in fact, I think it might not have counted anyway, because I think
offside there on the far side, but
the flag was up, but I actually think it might have been Nathan Reardon who managed to get out and get a block in before it managed to go into the back of the net. So excellent work again from Lions at the back. That's why they've only conceded 11 goals this season. And up the other end, that's why they have scored 84, but they can't quite put it in the back of the net. Still an opportunity now though through Danny Kim. Dispossessed though by Lofthouse, and Lofthouse does well, skips past one, wins a throw-in off another Lions player. Brilliant work, Jez Lofthouse.
Yeah, the game opening up a little bit now as players start to get a bit more tired, but again there, Shepherd in a great position. Real tough one to fire that one across the 6-yard box and find a man. It's a low percentage play, that one, where that position you either got to cut it back or try and dink it to the far post, but yeah, not to be for Lions. And yeah, it's interesting now. I really do like this time of the game when it starts opening up a little bit, and substitutes are going to come into it as the Lions physio seems to be running down this side. I'm not sure what the issue is. Looks like something behind us, so hopefully everyone's all right.
We'll keep our attention on the field as Marek Madley squared up by Waters and wins a free kick. Waters isn't happy about it, but it looks a good decision from here by Matt Skinner, and an opportunity now for Lions to get themselves into a good position to deliver a ball into the box.
Yeah, looks like a supporter down on the backfield there, so physio and doctor, stretcher there as well. Hopefully they look after him and he's not too bad.
We'll keep our eyes on that, but we will pay attention to this free kick as it's delivered in. It was a free kick conceded by Kieran Sanders in the end.
Yeah, just done well to win that one there. He ran into a bit of a dead end, and good double teaming there from the Olympic players, but unfortunately they've given away a free kick here.
It's difficult, isn't it? Sanders couldn't go anywhere, and it's excellent, intelligent work from Marek Madley to win the free kick. It's delivered now in at the near post, dangerous, into the top corner. What a header that is! And it is the man who comes in to the starting 11 for this game, Nathan Reardon, who gets his head to it. And he celebrates in front of the Olympic supporters. We're all square here in the National Premier League's Queensland Grand Final.
Yeah, great call there, Simon, and perfect ball in from Thompson. That's what you need, low and hard. Reardon did really well there to rise above the pack, and sometimes that's just the nous to know that he doesn't even have to be facing the goal. It's almost hit him on the back of the head, nestled in the top corner, and he certainly did do the lap in front of the Olympic supporters, so I think they've been giving it to him all game, and he has had a bit of a tough time there, but yeah, Thompson with the perfect ball in, Great header by Reardon, facing the wrong way. Nothing the keeper could do there, and he certainly did. Haven't seen him run that fast all game, but yeah, he certainly knew who to run past, and he gave it to the Olympic supporters. A good banter there all around, and the contest is back on, 1-1.
We're all level here at the Lion Richlands, and I'll tell you what, Lions don't often concede more than one.
And that's right. Hopefully my prediction of 2-1 with the last minute Madley goal comes to fruition. But Olympic, yeah, really need to get that tempo back in, and surely that'll give some Lions players a bit of extra energy in the legs.
And really they have dominated possession without creating too many chances in the back end of that first half. It's been fairly even and open in this second half. They've done well to get back into it, but you're at your most dangerous, at your most at risk after you've just scored. That was a good cross and well dealt with in the end by the Lions defence, but Olympic will continue to press and should be a fantastic second 45 minutes here.
Absolutely right. The next 5 minutes very critical for both sides. You don't want to concede after scoring a goal, and you certainly don't want to lose two in the space of a couple of minutes here for Olympic. So maybe just that slowing of the tempo a little bit has affected Olympic and allowed the Lions back into the match, as the referee has a bit of a talking to some of the. Not sure he's actually talking to
it was Shelford Diaz who managed to go into the back, I think, of Sean Carlos, and
okay,
I think there was just a little bit of niggle. Perhaps a few things are being said. I'm sure.
No doubt.
Anyone who's played football knows that there's a fair few conversations that go out on the field that you wouldn't want to bring to the dinner table with your mother or your grandmother. Nevertheless, they will continue. It's a good ball. It was well dealt with by the goal scorer Nathan Reardon at the back, but he's up against it again with Zelfi Nazari, bringing all his tricks out. Goes back to Steve White, who opened the scoring in the first half for Olympic, but a little bit of niggle coming in now, and Merrick Madeleine and Shane Stefanuto having a bit of a conversation just in front of us here.
A few uncharacteristic errors creeping into the Olympic game there. Stefanuto, you wouldn't see him put it over the side like that too often, but yeah, Lions players really up for it now, and it's getting a bit physical. Hey, referee!
Tell you what, there was plenty involved there.
Yeah, you don't want to see it get nasty though. You want to see them get physical but fair. You don't need to be too overzealous. We're both teams very competitive, but yeah, you don't want to see those nasty ones creep into this game.
Madlei's as physical as they come up front, and he used his body to great effect there, and it was Matt Mundy who just got a little bit shirty and managed to put a shove on. It looked like Matt Mundy was, as Madley was squeezed out by three.
Thompson on it again though, another great area. Just put it on that penalty spot and get boys flying in. Real tester here for the Olympic defence.
Thompson with the ball, it's a good one into the mixer. It was the captain, Simic, who rose highest.
You said it. Sometimes I think we're afraid to use that word mixer, but that is exactly it. That area there between, good work by the keeper. That area just past the center, well, the 18-yard box circle and that penalty spot. Just put it in there, and it causes all sorts of havoc.
There's plenty of height in both teams, to be fair. But as we've seen through that Nathan Reardon header, Lions can use it to great effect. That was good work from Danny Kim to get that ball out when Jez Lofthouse was looking risky again down this left-hand side. He's not been in the game too much in this second half, but he's such a threat, and Lions will do well to continue to close that threat down. But yeah, on possession now.
Pace has just picked up slightly there. A few quick turnovers, so to speak, where players getting a bit more nervous now, and it's really getting to the pointy end of this match, and you don't want to be making mistakes. But yeah, great to see the scores level again. Two very competitive teams, and certainly the two best sides over the course of the season fighting it out here.
Opportunity for the visitors, Olympic, to perhaps get something from this corner. It was Steve White who wandered over to take this corner, and he'll deliver it in now. It's another good corner. Les Lofthouse! And it's just wide of the goal.
Tell you what, he was free as a bird there. He probably should have done better with that one. Maybe the long locks got in the way a little bit, but yeah, poor defence there by our Lions, which again you don't see too often. And yeah, didn't even have to jump, but unfortunately he's probably just too far past the near post.
He's been left all alone from the corner.
Yeah, I mean, really should have buried that one.
It's again uncharacteristically sloppy from the Olympic, from the Lions defenders.
Yeah, I'm sure Warren Moon would be tearing what little hair he has left out, seeing someone that free there in the 18-yard box.
He won't be best pleased, that's for sure. It's Kim. Just wears one a little bit there from Steve White. Play on is the call from Mitch Hoare. Mitch Hoare puts a delightful ball in for Merritt Madley, and he gets underneath it and really makes a bit of a mess of it, to be honest. Mundy is challenged by Mitch Hoare, and then was challenged again by Giancarlo Solorzano.
Mitch Hoare's probably been Lions' best player today and everything again, and perfect ball in there. We talk about right areas. That was a perfect ball in, right in between the defence, made the keeper come for it, and unfortunately Madley just didn't have that belief that he could get there, and he skewed his shot.
Just too far ahead of him, wasn't it? And
right,
Madley normally would be able to gobble them up and put it into the back of the net, and we could have been talking about Lions taking the lead, and it wouldn't have been in the last minute, but your prediction would have been coming true, but still plenty of time for that to happen, 25 minutes or more. Mundy with the header off the goal scorer. His opposite number, Nathan Reardon's throw, and Reardon will have another opportunity now to deliver one into the box. We've seen from set pieces how dangerous Lions can be, and this is another opportunity to get the ball right into that dangerous area. Nadia Simic moving around. It's aimed towards Simic, but it's headed by Shane Stefanuto. Back in by Kim. Now flicked on by Carlos.
Shouts of Van ball there, but certainly off
Kim
Stefanuto's
again.
chest.
Madley still bouncing around, bit of head tennis. Kim once more hits it back in, but now it's hooked clear for Shelford Dias, and Dias all on his own, apart from Jez Lofthouse, and he can't squeeze the ball through to him, but still an opportunity now, perhaps for Zelfi Nazari. Now Danny Byrne cuts back inside. Byrne, it's off the lap of Reardon, and then Lofthouse, what a save! That is a sensational save by Luke Berean. And he deservedly accepts the plaudits from his defenders. He has kept Lions level pegging in this game, and we'll have a look at the replay now. It was a good block initially. It fell kindly for Lofthouse, but how about that? Point blank, Luke Berean.
Yeah, you're not going to see better than that. Even at an A-League level, Lofthouse again really should have done better. He could almost have a hat-trick.
It's another brilliant save. It was Lofthouse again with the free header. Byrne hooks his clearance out. He flaps at it, does Luke Berean. It's still in there. And it's been taken off the foot of Kristen Waters.
Tell you what, a bit of grand final scrap.
Lions living by the skin of their teeth here.
I'll tell you what, his lucky beanie's paying off tonight. A couple of great saves there, and Olympic can count themselves a bit unlucky.
There's a classic goalmouth scramble. We'll have a look at it again as we wait for the ball to be returned from the crowd. It wasn't Lofthouse in the end, it was Mundy. Lofthouse jumped ahead of Mundy, and then Danny Byrne hooks it in. Look at the flapping by Luke Berean. He gets a spot of luck there, and then it's hammered clear by Nathan Reardon.
Big Waters up there as well. Probably the last person you'd want in that position, and it just fluffed his shot, unfortunately. Couldn't get a good purchase on it, but yeah, great work by Luke Berean.
Stefanuto almost thought he was going to shape to shoot there, but he plays the ball back inside, gets it back. Now it's hammered off the back of Steve White, and here's Mitch Hoare hoping to add some sense to this game, this frantic, frenetic period of play here at the Lion Richlands in the grand final of the National Premier League's Queensland, but he gives the ball away. Now Lions will look to clear, but it's going to come straight back.
A lot of turnovers here, Simon.
It's got scrappy, hasn't it? Here's Stefanuto. He gives the ball away to Sean Carlos, and Sean Carlos wins the free kick. Stefanuto has a big smile on his face and offers a little bit of advice to our Total Tools referee Matt Skinner. It was just a frenetic period of play.
Yeah, as we said, that equaliser has really changed this game up a lot now, and both sides really tired legs as well in a long season, but a lot of turnovers, a lot of mistakes now, and you just don't want to be that person making a real critical one. But yeah, both sides, I could go either way right now.
It's winner takes all, do or die stuff here in the National Premier League's Queensland Finals Series, and it is Olympic visitors who look to break down that right-hand side. It was too far ahead of Shelford Dias, who's not the paciest of forwards for Olympic, and it's just run out of play ahead of him. And we'll be able to finally catch our breath over the next couple of minutes. If we've got about 20 minutes or so of this in store for the next period of time, we should be reaching for the Strepsils. I think we'll be looking to not speak for the next couple of weeks, Jonty, but we will be back in action when Lions host Edgeworth Eagles in the quarter-finals, as it is, of the National Premier League's Finals Series nationwide.
Tell you what, it's been great to have. Oh, here we go.
Opportunity again. for Diaz. Diaz racing into the area. That's a really tackle by Danny Kim.
Yeah, can't
it had
argue
to
with
be
that
made.
one. But again, Day's just not confident on that left side. He should have pulled the trigger again. Found himself in a great spot as Madley wins a throw for his side. Yeah, again, another sloppy one at the back for Lions. As we said, a lot of turnovers, a lot of mistakes.
It's actually good closing down by Reardon, and then a brilliant tackle. Absolutely sensational stuff from Danny Kim.
Yeah, Danny Kim, Mitch Hall have been some players for Lions this season, and sometimes the unsung heroes because they don't bang in all the goals, but tireless work there again, and great covering tackle by Danny Kim. That's what you want from your holding midfielders, or sixes as they call them. Really covering the defence there, and another great opportunity for Olympic wasted.
Inside is an opportunity now for Mitch Hoare. Plays it inside to Sean Carlos. Madley on the turn. It was hacked clear by Matt Mundy, who got a little bit of a push for his troubles from Madley.
Yeah, good work, Mundy again. Another experienced player there making a critical challenge.
It's a good ball in. Madley's got his head to it. He was always going backwards, though. He was unlikely to ever get a solid enough connection, but really good opportunity for Lions again.
Tough one, but he probably could have brought that one down and hit it with his foot. Very tough when you're running backwards to get any pace on the ball when you're heading it.
And Kristen Waters was in close attendance, so it would have been difficult. We'll just bring you an update from the National Premier League's Women's Queensland final. And it was the Liani twins, Sian and Freer, who combined. So we see a free kick given against the substitute Nathan Shepherd. That was for a foul on Kazuya Ito. As it was the Liani twins who combined to score the only goal for the Brisbane Roar NTC as they beat the Gap in the grand final up there at the Gap. So
Gap, a traditional powerhouse of the women's game as well, so I'm sure they'll be quite disappointed. But
future incredibly bright for the Brisbane Roar women's team, W League team.
Another great game to finish off the season there and here. So unfortunately, the soccer's going to stop soon, so you might have to join a futsal team, get down there and do a bit of five-a-side or six-a-side, wherever the futsal is now. But surely you can do that on the Queensland Football website.
You sure can. Kicking off on the 29th of September, the South East Queensland Futsal Premier League. You'll be able to get all your information about that on footballqueensland.com.au. Thanks to Darren Lutton for the call in that National Premier League's women's game. He's been bringing us all the women's matches this year. He's done a fantastic job as well. And Rafe Griffin bringing you all the Football Queensland Premier League matches, as well as last week's semi-final here between Lions and Moreton Bay United. It's an opportunity now for Juan Carlos Solorzano. Looks to play the ball into Madley. Madley goes down. He's looking for it though, and I think he was trying to con referee Matt Skinner, and Matt Skinner didn't buy a ticket for that one.
Yeah, probably should have gone there earlier from Solorzano, just held on to it a bit long. But yeah, game opening up now. It's real end-to-end stuff.
It's incredibly stretched, isn't it? The players will be really feeling it in their legs after a long season.
That's right. And I mean, great work by the team here as well. It's really taken this game to another level with replays and great coverage. Really makes it great for the local game and for people tuning in at home.
Here's Nazari. Nazari gets to the byline, far too far over the head of Danny Burton, who's not the tallest.
No, that's right. And again, we talk about it often, just those wide areas, those critical final balls. That's probably the difference between the NPL and the next level up, is really finding that pass at the final third.
Stefanuto tried to squeeze it through to Jez Lofthouse from the wide left, but here's Merritt Madley, and he goes down after a strong tackle from Kieran Sanders, and it was an illegal one, according to our Title Tools referee Matt Skinner. And another opportunity for Lions to just catch their breath and get their foot back on the ball. The premiers from this season, Lions, they finished on top of the ladder, 7 points clear of Olympic in second, the top two teams in the States competing here in the grand final, and an unbelievable atmosphere being created by the supporters all around the Lion Richlands. We'll get a attendance number for you shortly. Thompson uses his body to play the ball back towards Reardon, and Reardon over to Simic, and now here's Josh Brindle South. Plays that ball forward towards Sean Carlos, gets the ball under control eventually. He's under pressure from Steve White. Back to Brindle South, looking for an option. That option is Marek Madley. It's fallen from Marek Madley, and he can't squeeze it across to Solorzano. Former Raw man, again, not having the best of days for 30-year-old Colombian.
And that man Mundy there again doing great work at the back for Olympic. Certainly got his head in the game tonight. But a few challenges flying in now. It's great to hear the Lions supporters getting vocal as well. Trying to give it to the Olympic ones who've been fantastic all match today.
Really created plenty of colour and atmosphere to the occasion. It's gone a little bit quiet now. Nerves starting to creep in perhaps as Mitch Hoare goes in for a 50-50 with Jez Lofthouse and wins it.
Yeah,
and wins the ball for Lions.
Great anticipation there from Mitch.
Thompson goes wide and behind where Shepherd was, but that'll allow Olympic to come away with it. Here's Lofthouse. A little bit casual from Lofthouse. He goes back to Stefanuto. Stefanuto gives the ball away to Shepherd. Awkward. Shepherd with the shot. That wasn't too far away. Worth the effort after the turnover. And Stefanuto, well, he would have been hanging his head a little bit had that goal gone in.
That's right. I think very similar to the Olympic goal down this end, but I think Mooney had that one covered. He was hurrying to his left there as we watch this replay, but yeah, sloppy ball there from Stefanuto, and great effort by Shepherd, but not on target. Maybe Stefanuto might argue Saunders maybe a little bit ball watching and not quite anticipating that pass, but again, you got to find the mark, and as we see Olympic go for their first substitution with Danny Byrne, the captain, taking a little bit of a rest now, and 12 on in Costa Psaris, so lively young fella. One of those can either have a blinder or can go missing, so for his sake, I hope he has a good one.
Had a great season last season, didn't he, Costa Psaris? He always seems to be at the heart of everything that Olympic were able to achieve, but he's had a less influential part to play this season, playing predominantly from the bench. He's a mighty fine player to be able to bring on and has plenty of pace. So he'll be able to inject that and stretch the game even further. Ball comes in from Thompson. It's a poor one.
Yeah, not a great one there, but Lions seem to get him more joy out wide here, as Olympic did in the first half, and Olympic really finding it hard to get out at the moment. They trap deep in their half, and I'm sure their coach would not like to see this too much longer.
It was the pressure that was brought on to Olympic that eventually, I guess, led to the goal. It was a sustained period of pressure that Olympic were able to absorb in that first half, towards the end of the first half. And in the second half, while the game's been open, it has been Lions who pulled level for a fantastic header by Nathan Reardon. And that's why we are all square here at one apiece at the Lion Richlands in the grand final of the National Premier League's Queensland. It's good press from Olympic though, and Kieran Saunders just going in a little bit on his opposing captain, Matthias Simic. Kim hooks it forward, only onto the head of Waters. Mitch Hoare mopping up, as he's done so many times so far, both this evening and this season. Simic turning into a little bit of trouble. Still in a little bit of trouble, but he's helped out by Josh Brindle South, and Brindle South needed to make that intervention there as Borean hammers the ball forward, but it's right onto the head of Nazari, who's dropped deeper with the introduction of Costa Psaros. There's an opportunity now, and a shot comes in. Not a bad effort from Steve White. He scored the goal in the first half. That one was left well alone by Luke Borean. He was confident it was going wide of the far post, but as we see from the replay, it wasn't all that far away.
Yeah, sized up his left foot there, but unfortunately not on target for him, but did well again, stayed composed, didn't rush himself, but you really got to find the target there to trouble that keeper.
Luke Borean taking his time, and again, the pace of this second half has been absolutely phenomenal. It's been end-to-end stuff, frenetic football.
A lot of hands on hips and a few players hands on knees, so these final 15-20 minutes are really going to see who has their medal up top and mentally. A few subs up the sleeve for both sides, so it could really make a difference.
It's Kieran Saunders who went down, and it was Juan Carlos Solorzano who hasn't had a great impact. Free kick taken quickly, and Madley has pounced on that, and it needed Nick Mooney to race out of his area in order to snuff out that threat. Sloppy from Olympic. Again, you just need to get your foot on the ball. and control possession for a period of time. It's been such a high intensity game.
Yeah,
the tempo's been so up as Costa Passaros just injects a little bit of pace, and then Steve White gets clattered to the ground.
Yeah, I think
Nathan Reardon who's
down, but good challenge by him. Maybe a bit of a cork there, but both players going in nice and hard and nice and fair. So probably the right decision being in a corner. I'm sure Nathan Reardon's feeling his age right now and wishing that was a free kick, but a bit of a better ball in there by Passaros, I think.
See the replay, it was...
Yeah, one of those. I mean, it's a good clearance. I think maybe at halfway the referee probably gives that free kick to Reardon, but nevertheless a great opportunity for Olympic.
Juan Carlos Solorzano trots back in order to bolster the defence. Every single Lions player further back.
Both, I think Shelford Diaz getting substituted here, so interesting to see who's coming on for Olympic.
Shelford Diaz is coming off. And he has put the work in, Shelford Diaz. Got to run all sorts of places, and it's Alex Smith, the goal scorer from the semi-final. He's managed 9 goals in his 12 games for Olympic in the National Premier League, and the 33-year-old is a handy player to bring on in these situations.
That's right. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes with his ankle. Probably heavily strapped, so as he goes in the mixer. I'll tell you what.
Kristen Waters who got the head to that. And
great ball in, and he really should have done better there again. And we talk about free headers. That was probably not free, but if you can get your shoulders and head to the ball without anyone challenging, you really should do better.
Came from the back post and just managed to get underneath it.
He's a big boy. Under pressure there from Simic and Reardon, but again, as we said, if you really want to be critical, probably should have hit the target there.
It's a good player to have to come up, Kristen Waters. He is quite handy with his feet on occasion and does on occasion play up front as a big target man when Olympic are struggling. He's served that utility purpose on a couple of occasions over the course of the last few years since being at the Yeronga base side. He's surprisingly good with his feet. Merrick Madley just can't get that ball from under his feet, and it allows Kristen Waters to clear. That was a good opportunity for Lions.
That's right.
Long ball over the top.
With Smith on now, he's really good at getting in between those lines, so it'll be interesting to see where he floats, especially in defence for Olympic. But definitely a goal sneak, and they'll try to get him on the ball as much as possible.
If his ankle is troubling him, it will be a case of getting into the penalty area and waiting for the balls to be fed into him. And perhaps trying his luck from set pieces for Alex Smith, and he is more than capable. He didn't have a great time in the A-League when he spent time over in New Zealand with the Phoenix.
I don't think too many players who go to New Zealand have a great time in the A-League, to be honest, Simon, but we'll leave that one there.
I wasn't going to say that, Johnsy, but no, you're right. He played 41 games and scored just for 1 goal and got plenty of minutes in those 41 games. They weren't just minute cameos at the end of matches, so it didn't quite work out for him. He's been around the traps a little bit since then, playing at Oakley and over in the States with FC Dallas. Even popped up at the Sunshine Coast at the start of the season before joining Olympic for the back end of the season. And he's made a real difference to this Olympic side, just managing to score goals and score plenty of them, as has this man, Merrick Madley, who goes down under the challenge of Stefanuto, and he's holding his ankle, is Merrick Madley, and still on the ground as Olympic break, and then Alex Smith gets clattered fairly.
Great challenge, yeah.
By Nathan Reardon, and Stefanuto gets a little bit of a push by Mitch Hoare. It's all starting to fire up a little bit here.
That's right, even Stefanuto's hair is a bit out of place now, so that gel wearing off a bit, but yeah, not happy with that challenge there from Mitch Hoare.
Must be flustered if the hair's out of place.
That's right, Alex Smith as well, wore one there from Reardon, great shot, so not showing too many of a bit of a hip thing there, so he's done well to try and keep that on the down low, but he certainly felt that one.
That would have been a good test for the ankle early doors, just to see how he's feeling after a pretty rough treatment at the end of the game from Western Pride. It's an untidy challenge, and it's certainly one that Ben Kahn was unhappy with. As you can imagine, he was forced to start his star striker on the bench today, but it's a key player to come on, and there may be plenty of time remaining. Only 7 minutes or so of regular time remaining, but of course if it's still 1-1 at the conclusion of the 90, we'll have another 30 minutes of extra time.
So I'm sure most of the supporters here won't be too disappointed about it. It's been a great contest, but with not much time left, it certainly leaves the door open for someone to be a hero.
Perhaps your man Merrick Madley as per your prediction. Here he is now. He's crowded off the ball by a combination of Mundy and Stefanuto, and then he clatters into the back of Stefanuto and concedes a free kick. And that was unnecessary from Madeleine. Stefanuto is just having a word with the assistant on this near side, Joey Lee.
We'll tell anyone that will listen about his problems, but yeah, great competitive there again from Stefanuto. Not much the linesman can do, but nonetheless, I'm sure he'll cop a serve all game from Stefanuto as he continues here.
It was the linesman who actually called for free kick. I think Matt Skinner was looking upfield, so perhaps he's just enthusiastically thanking Joey Lee for spotting the indiscretion from Marek Madley, who bundles again into Kristen Waters. We spoke about that contest before the game. 6 of one, half dozen of the other is the opinion of Matt Skinner on this occasion, as Shepherd puts a ball in just over the head of Juan Carlos Solorzano. Again, it's not been his night for
Not
Lions,
quite,
has it? The former
Mooney certainly has done a great job for Olympic there in goal. Again, just gobbling that one up, and a bit of an aimless kick downfield, but I think everyone feeling it a little bit as Olympic to look to counter here. They really need to get advanced in the Lions' defensive third and get that ball to Smith and see if he can come up with some magic.
It's a poor touch, wasn't it, by Matthias Simic, and that's a glorious ball for Costa Passaros, and Costa Passaros gets there ahead of Josh Brindle-South. Brindle-South deflecting that ball up into the air, but it's still there for Costa Passaros. He can't quite take the ball under control, though, and Costa concedes a against Sean Carlos.
That's probably the benefit of having Passaros there instead of Danny Byrne, with all due respect to Danny Byrne. A lot more pacey from Passaros to retrieve that ball, but not the guile of Burns, and sloppily giving that ball away, which he did well to retrieve. And then a poor foul there as well, where Sean Carlos going the wrong way, and probably better to just let him have the ball and then press them.
Mitchell was just stretching out the hamstrings there. He's just feeling a little bit as Mundy goes right over the top of Solorzano.
Yeah, harsh one there on Solorzano. Not much you can do when the defender climbs all over the top of you, but usually the way they give that to the defender.
The whistle go, and you assume the free kick's going in favour of Lions in that situation, because Matt Mundy really did get a run and went on to the top of Solorzano. Tried to go for a piggyback ride. It's late in the game. Perhaps he's trying to rest his legs, but it was a tough one.
Yeah, but again, Mundy with some great work there at the back. He's a very tough competitor, and not much has got past him tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm really not sure what Juan Carlos Solorzano can do there. Matt Mundy attacking the ball. If anything, it was nothing. May as well have allowed play to continue, Matt Skinner, but the wash-up is that it's a goal kick that will be taken by Luke Moran away to our left.
Interesting to see the time added on here. We haven't had too many stoppages or substitutions, so shouldn't be too much more than a couple of minutes.
There have been too many at all, as Kazuya Ito just races through and mops up that loose ball. It was high, and that was the appeal from the Lions players, but that's not the opinion of Matt Skinner. That's an untidy one, and another free kick given against the Lions player, and it was Kristen Waters who went in over the top that time.
Yeah, Sean Carlos there in a bit of pain. I don't think too many players would like Waters coming down on them, but yeah, good call there by the referee. Waters certainly deserved that free kick, and Sean Carlos coming off second best there.
Waters really did ride over the top of the rather slight figure in comparison of Sean Carlos, although most players on the field look slight when compared to the big Kristen Waters, a big number 4 for Olympic, who's been rock solid at the back. And Olympic have all the play now as we close in on the final 3 minutes of regulation time here at the Lion Richlands. It's Lions 1, Olympic 1 in the National Premier League Queensland Grand Final. Simon Smale and Jonty Richter bringing you all the action on the Football Queensland live stream. That's sloppy from Kristen Waters. An opportunity now for Solorzano. Solorzano plays the ball through towards Shepherd, and then Madley gets a shot away, but it's blocked brilliantly by Mundy. Excellent defence from Olympic.
Yeah, great covered defence there by Mundy. Again, he's been excellent there at the back for Olympic. Sloppy again, I think. Both sides making a lot of errors now late in this contest, but yeah, Lions, they're disappointed they didn't do better with that opportunity as the Olympic, Sean Carlos, good tackle there, twice by Mundy actually, but Olympic supporters really giving it to some of the Lions players there and trying to encourage their own players to clear this one.
2 minutes remaining. We'll keep our eye on the board. And the fourth official, Jason Crowe, is getting that ready as we speak. It'll be a long, long throw into the middle. And the Lions percent, they'll be hoping someone to get on the end of it. Madley was crowded out of it somewhat. Lofthouse is forced to play the ball back towards his own goal, and it's hacked clear by a sliding Kazuya Ito. Ball goes out for a throw, and Lions will build again from the back through Andy Thompson.
Both coaches up out their seats now in the battle of the puffer jackets. Both coaches, I don't think whether it's 25 degrees or 8 degrees, they both got those jackets on, so maybe a bit of luck for them too, but yeah.
That's cold for Queensland, Johnson.
That's right, mate. But Saunders there with the rush clearance and gives the opportunity to Lions here, getting deep in Olympic territory.
Basaros with the challenge. It's hooked in and then hooked away. Mitch Hoare mops up as he's done so well all game. Here's Reardon, who equalised for Lions in the 58th minute. He plays that ball in towards Madley. Madley can't quite get any direction on that header, and that's excellent work by Zelfi Nazari, who has been good for Olympic up top. He's worked so hard.
That's right, and he does that dirty work, as we said, and sometimes doesn't always get the plaudits for it, but he's been excellent up there for them, not only in attack but in defence as well.
Basaros has switched sides with Jez Lofthouse. Lofthouse operating on the right now and is in acres of space over on that far side. If Olympic can conspire to get the ball over that side, they could have some problems, Lions. It's trapped on this side with Shane Stefanuto for the throw. But too far from Stefanuto. And then Nazari is bundled out the way by Andy Thompson, and it's shepherded out by Reardon for a goal kick. Luke Berean will look to get this ball clear. It is 4 additional minutes at the end of normal time here in the National Premier League's Grand Final. There is nothing to separate these two sides. Lions 1, Olympic 1. It finished 1-0 to Olympic in round 3 at Goodwin Park. 1-0 to Lions here at the Lion Richlands back in round 16. And Lions won the only other encounter between the two sides this season in the FFA Cup round of 32 back in July. 3-2. There was late drama in that game. Will there be late drama in this?
And you'd think there probably will be one more opportunity for one of these sides here tonight, but yeah, again, Thompson on the ball. He's whipped in a few nice balls for Lions, and let's see if he can do it again.
Olympic have put everybody back. Lions not committing everybody forward, but the ball comes in now from Thompson. It's a good deep cross. It was Madley who's there, just making a nuisance of himself.
Mundy again with some great work at the back.
He's been good, Mundy, for Olympic. A little bit of niggle on occasion, but he's done what he's needed to do, particularly defensively. Ball is headed back away by Christian Waters. Can White get this ball under control? Brilliant tackle by Kim. Excellently timed. Here's a substitute, Shepherd. Opportunity for the goal scorer, perhaps. Reardon goes down. Now this is a good opportunity, deep into injury time.
Yeah, Reardon making a nuisance of himself up there. There's a bit of afters from Mundy and Saunders. I don't know what they're doing. That's silly from Saunders. No need for that. It's already a free kick. Just get out the way and set your wall up. You don't want to get sent off now and really punish your side. And they've been excellent, Mundy and Saunders, so nothing stupid from them, but a bit of afters there. I'm sure knowing Nathan Reardon, he loves to give a bit of a comment. But free kick nonetheless.
I don't think Merritt Madley was completely blameless in that situation either. He was down on the ground. But you're right, I mean, Kieran Saunders, he's a combustible figure, but it's a little bit silly as Christian Waters manhandles the wall, all 4 of them in the wall, out a little bit further and just waiting to be told where he has to go back by Matt Skinner. You sense this is the opportunity, and it's Andy Thompson who's taken it upon himself. He has scored twice this season, Andy Thompson, but this will be clearly the most important of those goals.
Sean Carlos always fancies himself on these spots as well, but tall wall there from Olympic. It would be a tough one, this one.
It'll be Thompson over the top.
Never going in, that one. A lot of pace on it, but yeah, never going to trouble the keeper. That wall was, I mean, that's probably one of the shortest distances I've seen this season from a wall. Sometimes they can have them back about 28 metres, but that certainly was 9.3.
Looked right on the limit of legitimacy. that wall. That's lovely work over on that far side by Jez Lofthouse. Lofthouse has done brilliantly to win a free kick in that situation. And there's still time for drama, this time at the other end.
Yeah, great opportunity here for Olympic, and hopefully they can do better with their free kick. Not so much so like Lions at the other end, but I'm sure there'll be a few boys putting their hands up. Probably too wide for a shot, unless you got a nice Cristiano Ronaldo dip on you. But no offence to everyone on the park tonight. I don't think anyone's capable of that from here, but certainly a free kick there.
That's so good from Jez Lofthouse. He's done so well in those situations, and he was being crowded out of that.
That's
did
right.
Just enough. Here comes that free kick. It's very, very deep. Waters helps it back, but it's over the bar, and that's a real wasted opportunity from Olympic.
That's right, and Lofthouse did so well there to win that with 3 around him, but unfortunately a poor free kick there. Tied legs probably to blame. Not too much left in this game, and that could have been a great opportunity there had they got in the right area.
In fact, there's nothing left in this game in normal time, that is. We will go to an extra 30 minutes, extra time in place. There'll be a couple of minutes now while we just have a look at the highlights of the second half. And it's the second half in which Lions managed to get back on level terms, and it was in no small part thanks to the efforts of Marek Madley, who managed to put in a lot of effort up front. He was unable to find the back of the net though, which is a rarity this season. It's only happened twice in a Lions jersey for him.
Yeah, and both sides are creating a lot of opportunities, but just not nailing that final pass as we talked about. Olympic had some great ones there where, again, just not finding the target, and some amazing saves there by Luke Borean. And really, Olympic will be kicking themselves that they didn't equalise on 2 of those occasions, but some great work in goal, as we said, from both keepers. Probably shading it at the moment is Borean, but both keepers have been stalwarts and in their top 2-3 players for each side.
This was the free kick from which Lions drew level. A magnificent header by Reardon, perfectly placed. Mooney didn't move, he couldn't move. It was such a good header, so well placed. And then Reardon just exciting the crowd behind the goal with his celebration. A crowd that's very vocal in support of Olympic and has added real colour to the occasion. That was a fantastic opportunity from Jez Lofthouse.
Lofthouse will be kicking himself, as we said here. Great ball in from Mitch Hoare, and Madley probably just didn't have that belief that he was going to get there. Mooney in 2 minds. But yeah, again.
I missed it first time round. Mitch Hoare thought that ball was in as soon as it met the foot of Marek Madley. And here's the save. That is magnificent from Luke Borean. Absolute point blank range, and another good opportunity for Jez Lofthouse. And perhaps he should have done better, but you can't fault the save. It was absolutely incredible.
And
as
again,
was that.
From Mundy, who's been excellent at both ends of the field, but yeah, Borean certainly earning his money tonight.
He's a recognisable figure and he's done incredibly well. Here's another opportunity, a brilliant tackle there. And it's been a bit like that end to end in this second half. There's been so much drama. That ball just being taken under control a little bit more by Marek Madley. We could be talking about a winner here, and then the header always off balance, but it's been an incredible grand final. We always have drama in these grand finals. They're never short of action. And we will now have an extra 30 minutes to enjoy. 15 minutes each way for the uninitiated.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see who stands up for either side now. A lot of tired legs out there, as we said. I think one sub up the sleeve for both sides. And just to confirm, they can't make a 4th substitution, which was a massive error by the referees last week, unfortunately. But both sides, I think, 1 substitution left. And it's gonna be critical. But I think Mundy's probably shaded it out of the defensive players tonight. Been excellent at the back, as we said. Some great covered tackles. Nazari up front, been superb doing that dirty work. But both sides not shirking the occasion, and just need to be better in that final third. And again, it's so easy for us to say that up here, not running around out there. But that's going to be the difference tonight. Just a little bit of quality. Smith on that A-League experience, he's got that. Salazano, A-League experience, he's got that. Madley, as we've talked about, great goal scorer. Lofthouse still there, who scored some spectacular goals this year. So we're really looking to one of those 4 players to do something magical here and steal it for their side.
It's been a remarkable game so far. Olympic have made 2 substitutions, Shelford Dias and Danny Byrne both being withdrawn in favour of Costa Passaros on Alex Smith. Nathan Shepherd is the only player who's come onto the field for Lions so far, so they've still got 2 substitutes up there sleeve. You'd expect perhaps Carter Glockner to come on and open up the game with his pace, and maybe even Chris Marr with his experience, able just to use his head. But at what point in extra time do you start thinking about penalties, Jonty?
Oh, look, I mean, really deep into that second half. You'd probably rather win it here. I think both sides good experience and some two great goalkeepers. I think most of the players don't want to get to penalties with seeing these two, Mooney and Borean, in goal. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, maybe we get a winner in this extra 30 minutes.
Nothing separates these two sides after 90 minutes. Will the extra 30 do the business? Here in the National Premier League's Grand Final, Matt Skinner looks at his watch. He gets things underway with Olympic in the dark blue, kicking from left to right as we enter extra time. 1-1 at the end of normal time between Lions and Olympic. And Jez Lofthouse racing downfield, but he's run up a blind alley and is dispossessed. And now a free kick, and we're going to see a yellow card, are we? No, just a speaking to. And there have been a couple of niggly fouls creeping into this game, Jonty, and you'd expect that in this game. You'd expect that at this level, and with so much at stake. Neither side want to back down, and neither side want to ever look like they're going to be dominated in any physical confrontation.
That's right, and both sides getting quite physical, as you said, but in a very competitive way, and fair play to the referee again. He's had an excellent game so far. Not too many talking points from his point of view, but yeah, we'll see how this one unfolds.
Josh Brindle South just overcommitted there somewhat, and he was fortunate perhaps that Costa Pasaris allowed the ball to run out, but nevertheless, you have two balls on the field, so Luke Borean will just wander over and get this ball out of play. And Lions would do well to just wait to make sure that he is back in position before getting play out, and that's exactly what Josh Brindle South does. Good head
Crowd
tennis
gone a bit
there
silent here as well. I think that just shows how tense this is, where a bit of steam gone out the Olympic end, Lions supporters at the moment. But yeah, quite tense, and I'm sure they both are just watching this game with anticipation.
Nerves creeping in. They've been there from the start, of course, and they'll be growing. Knowledge that any mistake could be costly and could cost their team a championship. Lions desperately hoping to do the double in their first season in the National Premier League's Queensland. Moving the ball around well. That's a sloppy pass.
Yeah, poor decision there by Carlos. But yeah, a lot of misplaced passes creeping into this match as players get quite tired now towards the back end of this match and this season.
It's a solid header by Reardon. It's going to be coming straight back towards him. Lofthouse touching it off to Stefanuto. Stefanuto does well to keep that ball in, despite the protestations from the Lions bench. And then a slip by White allowed Mitch Hoare to pounce. And here comes Juan Carlos Solorzano. Madley's in the middle. Mitch Hoare's arriving. Solorzano's plenty of time. Mitch Hoare couldn't get a touch.
I think he tried the old behind the leg one there, but yeah, unfortunately made no contact. That was better from Solorzano there. Much better. Probably the best moment of the game for the former Raw Hyundai A-League player, and a free kick has gone the way of Lions. There's been a couple of challenges flying in. There was a really vital one by Andy Thompson on Jez Lofthouse, but have a look at it again. Lofthouse went to deck, and then, yeah, that's a little bit nasty there. Shane Stefanuto giving away the free kick. Yeah, it's always tough there. We not encouraged to leave the ground anymore as a player, but he certainly slid in there, and correct decision again by the referee, as a lot of players' hands on haunches again, but Thompson on the ball, and Lions faithful hoping that he can whip in a good ball once again. Lions supporters are enthralled, as we all are here in extra time. Hope you're enjoying this broadcast. Simon Smale and Jonty Richter bringing you all the action, thanks to Double Take for Football Queensland, as Thompson brings his ball in. It's met by Simic, was it? At the near post. It's going to be a corner. I think it was the goal scorer for Lions, Nathan Reardon, in the end, who actually got his head to that ball. Yeah, not too much complaints from the Olympic players, so must have been the right decision. Another opportunity to deliver a ball into a dangerous area. Olympic conceded from a set piece.
That won't please Ben Khan. He'll be doubly unimpressed if they manage to concede again here in extra time. Good ball right into a dangerous area, and the ball is in the back of the net. And it is that man, Marek Madley. He's a couple of minutes late for your prediction, Jonty, but that is a magnificent goal from Marek Madley. He always scores.
Yeah, and he's done a big run there to jump on the bench for Lions, but great header there. What a ball in by Shepherd. Perfectly placed and good header there by Marek. Not much Mooney could do there in goal. Again, maybe not the best defending by Olympic, unfortunately, but Marek, big run down the sideline there to support to celebrate with his teammates in the dugout.
It's situation reversed from the first half. Now Olympic need to come back from a goal down, and Lions taking their time in coming back into position after celebrating that goal wildly, as they may well do. That's the goal that could deliver Lions their maiden National Premier League's Queensland Championship.
I'll tell you what, still plenty of time left for Olympic though, so they shouldn't be too disheartened. But yeah, advantage Lions at the moment, and it's going to take something real special for Olympic to get back in this match.
It took him 95 minutes, but Marek Madley did find the back of the net for Lions. What will Alex Smith, not fully fit Alex Smith, it has to be said, manage to do for his side Olympic? As Olympic get the throw in. Here's Costa Passaris. He's allowed to run. Relatively fresh legs from the winger, and he has got pace. Costa Passaris, and he clatters into Brindle South, and then a second time as well.
Yeah, good run there by Passaris. I think he didn't quite know exactly what he was doing, but sometimes it's better to just run it into the corner like that and get a throw in like he has done, and gets his side the chance to advance up the field and pin Lions back.
Get the ball upfield and get it into dangerous areas. White goes back to Mundy. Mundy looking for an option. Stefanuto goes wide. Instead, goes in towards Alex Smith, who drops deep. Here's White again. He scored the opening goal in the 14th minute for Olympic. Costa Passaris, the substitute, skips past two would-be tacklers. Sloppy from Solizano, should have been able to cut that ball out. Cross comes in. It's there, is it, for Alex Smith? It's still there for Alex Smith. Brilliant from Alex Smith. There were 4 Lions players around him, and Alex Smith still managed to get a shot away, but it came off one of those defenders and out to this near side. But here's Kazuya Ito under pressure from Shepherd, and now Mitch Hoare does well to squeeze that ball upfield, but it's going to come straight back. Kim hammers it back towards Kristen Waters.
Good touch there by Mundy. But yeah, Stefanuto finally overlapped this match. He doesn't do it too often, but a great ball in by him, and it just shows you there a bit of quality from the old veteran finding its mark, and Smith unfortunately couldn't come up with the goods for Olympic.
It took that combination, that quality to unlock the Western Pride defence in the semi-final. They've already done it once here tonight against Lions, but they'll need to do it a second time, and as we've already mentioned, not many people score 2 against Lions.
Big shout out to Matty Smith, former Raw captain, watching over there in Bangkok. Probably a few cocktails by the pool. What a rig on him. He's probably shirt off as well.
You have an obsession with people's rigs, Jonty. Here's Marek Madley. Marek Madley backing into Mooney. Mooney does brilliantly to dive in over the top.
Yeah, good work there by Mooney. Once again, doing a great job for Olympic in goal there. Madley just found himself facing the wrong way there. But yeah, nonetheless, great work from the Olympic keeper.
Dangerous ball back. And that's coming in our direction. It might not even go out. That's an excellently weighted ball.
Poor decision there by Shepherd, but just gifts it to
Kazuya Ito.
There he is.
He throws his arm up, actually, Luke Berean, when he saw that decision. Marek Madley's still down. So Lions at the moment down to 10 men. We saw a situation early on in the game that forced Jason McQuarze off the field, and what will Lions do now that they've gained possession? I'd say that Sean Carlos will help this ball out.
Straight away there, just found the sideline. So old Andrew Vetter working overtime for the Lions physio tonight. He's had a few in the first half, and now Madley here, as well as a supporter who unfortunately I think got taken to hospital in an ambulance. So we really hope that that guy's all right. Looked fairly serious, so thoughts are with him anyway. But nonetheless, a few worried faces here staring Marek down as the clock ticks.
Not many people have moved from their positions, and you can't blame them. It has been a fantastically engrossing game. Everyone on the edge of their seats or standing on the tips of their toes trying to catch a glimpse of the action.
Don't know who.
Really good crowd here.
That's right, and I don't know who's going to favour this stoppage. Olympics certainly trying to get back in this match. I think Lions were happy to just keep this game rolling on, but both sides get an opportunity now to go have a chat to their fellow coaches and have a quick drink, and a few discussions going on here and there between players, and just shows the nature of the contest. Still certainly in this Olympic, but yeah, they really need to come up with something, and something soon.
What does a coach say in these situations, Johnsy? What can you say in these situations?
Probably just calm down and try and keep the ball a little bit. As we said, a lot of turnovers, but even from a coach, it's easy to say that. I mean, these guys have been out there for what will be 2 hours once this game's finished, and yeah, it's just that final pass again. There's going to be a lot of space out here, and sides are going to get the opportunity. It's just they've got to slow down in that final moment and pick their spot. It's so easy to say, but yeah, too many players get in that position and just rush things.
Madley looks like he's going to be helped from the field. And that's not good news for Lions. They do have options on the bench. Still 2 substitutes remaining for Warren Moon to shuffle his pack.
Looks like a bit of a head knock for him there, so maybe a bit of a concussion test as well from Andrew Vedder there. But
it did look like while he was backtracking, Mooney, in trying to get the ball and doing so fairly and legally, just managed to perhaps catch Merritt Madley as he was backtracking, and that might have caused a couple of problems, and we hope that he is okay, as indeed we do send the thoughts to the young person who was injured behind us here, and hope that he's okay and that he's able to watch this game on replay.
Stefanuto as well, we're not sure if he's going around next season, so I'm sure he'll give his everything if this is to be his last game of football. But yeah, absolute servant of the game up here in Queensland, and certainly trying everything now as he gets more advanced up the field.
He's at his most dangerous when he goes forward for Olympic, playing the balls inside, but not like that. Straight to the feet of Danny Kim, and Danny Kim will look to release Giancarlo Solorzano now, 2 former A-League colleagues over on that far side, although it wasn't Stefanuto who he was tussling with, it was Matt Mundy, who has been everywhere at the back.
That's right, and I mean, great cover defence there by the centre-back, coming across there to Madell back on the field as well, so obviously being cleared there of any serious injury.
Looking to just take a bit of time to get himself back into the game as Alex Smith comes deep to keep that all up, and here's an opportunity now for Olympic. Jez Lofthouse going wide. Lofthouse cuts back inside. It's off the chest,
Thompson
I think,
there,
of Andy Thompson. It was a good work from Jez Lofthouse, and here's an opportunity for Madley, and that was an ambitious effort. And really, it's just wasting time, sticking it into the corner.
Yeah, I think if that one sails in, it's an absolute screamer, but maybe that head knock knocked a bit of sense out of him.
Perhaps a little disorientated, you reckon?
That's right. Well, I think keeper was off his line, but yeah, technique not there. But a great work by Lofthouse once again. He does really well there at dribbling that ball, getting it close to the box and opening himself up for a shot, but unfortunately blocked there for himself.
Stefanuto to Smith to Lofthouse. Once again, Thompson does well. He gets that ball out to Carlos, and now Carlos upfield to Solorzano. In comes Mitch Hoare, and Solorzano gives away a free kick. He's not happy with it.
Madley looking to the bench as well. I'm not sure if he's signalling that I don't need to be subbed or I would like to be subbed, but certainly putting his hand up there to the bench as the physio up off his seat again, as Stefanuto in a great area.
Stefanuto inside to Smith, or at least in the direction of Smith, but it's that captain, that man again, captain fantastic for Lions, Matthias Simic, who's there to read the situation and snuff out the danger. He only puts it at the feet of Matt Mundy though, and he puts it back out wide to the new substitute, Costa Passaros, and Passaros has Ito on the overlap. That's a great header by Smith.
Good ball.
Really good opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it, hitting those areas, and that was, again, someone of Smith's calibre. You could argue that's a free header, and again, you've got to make the keeper worth. Probably just trying to put too much. Yeah, I mean, good cover defence by Thompson, but Smith with the front running there, he's got to bury that one, and someone of his quality really should have buried that in the back of the net. But again, just trying to put too much on it, and it's over the top as Marek down on the ground again, which looks like he'll be substituted.
Looks like game over for Merritt Madley, and he is applauding the crowd over on that far side. We're going to see a substitution. It's going to be Chris Marr who comes on, the 26-year-old who feels like he's been around for about 100 years, particularly around Football Queensland competitions. He's played for Strikers, Mitchelton, Rochdale, played with you at Strikers for a number of years, John T. He's a cool head to bring on in these situations.
Yeah, that's right. He can. He's got some great ability, Chrissy Marr, just all in the head for him. So he does a lot of coaching as well. So I'm sure a lot of his young fellas will be here screaming, "Ooh, Chrissy Marr," and hopefully he can come up with something special as well.
That injury to Marek Madley, we may well see a couple of minutes added on at the end of his first period of extra time. We'll await to see the board. Should be imminent with just 20 seconds or so remaining. Alex Smith was offside, but Jez Lofthouse has got a run on here. And what on earth is Luke Boreen doing?
Well, you could
judged
argue
it well in the end.
He did enough, and Lofthouse did extremely well there to evade him for one, but just couldn't regather. It's one of those, maybe a more experienced player would have just left the leg dangling in there and copped a hit from Boreen and won the free kick. But as we see here, great ball in there. Smith did an excellent job of not touching that ball being offside, but he stopped the clock there as Olympic supporters got a few security guards coming over just to have a word. I think a few getting a little bit ambitious there and giving it to Boreen, which he loves. But yeah, we don't need that. They've been great all night, the Olympic supporters, so hopefully they don't ruin it now. But really have been tremendous for the Olympic side.
Yeah, security has been called over, I think, on the advice of Nathan Reardon, who I think had something thrown in his direction. It might have been liquid. But nevertheless, it's not something you want to see. We'll ignore that though and focus on the action on the field. There's been plenty of it. Opportunity now over on that far side. Great battling over there. Mundy, Stefanuto coming back to help. It's a substitute Chris Marr with the audacious back heel. It's worked out for Lions though. Here is Chris Marr. He's closed down brilliantly by Zelfi Nazari. Nazari is mugged in the end by Chris Marr.
Good work by both players there.
That's sensational work, and again, great battling, tenacious work from both players. Here's Sanders. There's going to be a little bit of push and shove here, and I think this has been brewing. Kieran Sanders with a bit of an ugly tackle. He ended up taking out his own man.
Cleaned up his own player there, just trying to smash anything that moved, but sloppy pass. And yeah, again, 2-footer, that's a disgrace, man. You don't need to do that, as we see all players in there. He didn't need to do that. He's a better player than that.
That's not very intelligent from Kieran Sanders. He does have a short fuse. The yellow card is out. And Mitchell has a right to feel aggrieved.
To be honest, he's lucky to get away with a yellow there. I mean, you really don't want to see that. He's almost done more damage to his own teammate.
Yeah, Steve White would have been pretty upset had that been the situation there as well.
Referee doing well here. Linesman in on the field as well, all happening. Coaches up. Security ushering away. Big Rob there, just checking on the Olympic supporters, getting a bit overzealous there. But yeah, again, really hope they don't ruin it because they've been superb this evening. But all handbags and 6 paces here, and the referee's got it under control. Oh, ref! I mean, the kick, that is stupid from Mooney. He's just ran over and clocked one of the Lions players. That's ridiculous. It's getting stupid now. Referee just needs to get on with this game, get the ball down, get them playing, because both sides just need to get on with it.
Chris Marr in the thick of the action there.
Yeah, that's silly from Mooney. I mean, he's had a superb game, and he doesn't need to get involved in that.
There may be further action here. A bit of a discussion between our Total Tools.
I mean, to be fair, that probably is a yellow card, but yeah, let's just get this game going, referee.
It's been played in a fantastic spirit so far this game. It's got a little bit untidy here in extra time as tensions rise and what's at stake suddenly becomes more evident.
Thompson on the ball again, who has been superb, but yeah, Olympic need to just keep their heads here as well as Lions. We don't need to see it get too out of control, but obviously a lot of passion and feeling in this grand final.
Matt Mundy, who's taken captaincy duty since Danny Byrne left the field, just got a talking to from Matt Skinner, telling him to calm his team down. Might be an opportunity perhaps for Lions to get the ball into a dangerous area. Jez Lofthouse just shy of the required 10. That's a decent ball into a decent area. It's Matthias Simic with the air swing. And now Olympic will look to break and break quickly, but they can't get the ball past the substitute Nathan Shepherd, and that's nasty by Costa Passaros. Right in front of us here. Yeah, Costa Passaros is going to get a yellow card.
He's not happy with that decision, but it's the right one. I mean, he knew exactly what he was doing, and he's probably never going to win the ball there, but really getting heated now, so referee needs to take control of this match. A lot of feeling in this one, and both sides not shirking it now. But Olympic, they don't want to get too hot and heavy. They want the pace to stay high tempo. They don't want it slowing down like this.
We'll have a look at it again. Costa Pizarros, just a little bit late.
But that's it. I mean, he's putting the shoulder in. He's not even putting the legs out to try and block that ball. So he knew exactly what he's doing, and that's what you get for that one. And yellow card, get on with it.
Players letting the occasion get the better of them here, and he's still having a couple of words to exchange with Nathan Shepherd for two fellow substitutes. And now we're going to have another trot over to the far side, perhaps to have a word with the Olympic bench. Jez Lofthouse must have felt a little bit guilty.
Yellow card for one of the officials there for Olympic. So obviously said something untoward, and the linesman picks it up on that far side. So fair play to that linesman. But yeah, come on guys, keep your heads, man. This has been an excellent game and hard and fair. Just nothing stupid now.
Somewhat tarnishes what has been a fantastic game thus far. This first period of extra time feels like it's gone on forever. Last almost 45 minutes at this rate. Stefanuto with his head, and finally it comes to a close, and perhaps a time for both coaches to tell their players to calm down. There's still plenty of football left in this game, 15 minutes to go. Olympic are still in this. Some of what's happening is a little bit stupid.
That's right, and great work there a number of times down the left-hand side for Olympic with Stefanuto finally overlapping, and I think he's sensing it that he needs to do something extra. And Smith unlucky there, had a lot of players around him, but couldn't manufacture something. For Lions, obviously, Madley, coming up with the goods. As you said, kept quiet in the semi-final, but he can't keep him down for too long. And a great finish there to put Lions in front, but a lot of feeling in this one, and a lot of challenges flying in. I think during the 90 minutes, Olympic were very, very physical in a positive way, where they just a few sliding tackles. I know that they're a bit frustrated and chasing this game now, but they've probably been the better side in many occasions when they just get the ball down and get it wide to the speedsters in Pizarros and Lofthouse, who have been excellent for them.
Is Kieran Sanders lucky to still be on the field?
Oh, no. I mean, look, to be honest, it was two-footed challenges. You don't want to see those anymore. And like we said, he's almost done more damage to his own teammate. Maybe out of frustration there, but he's a much better player than that, where you can still go in hard, you can still slide in with 1 foot, but two-footers, we don't need those in our game anymore. And there's only one thing that's going to happen. If you go through the ball, you're going to injure someone. And in that case there, it could have been his own teammate.
Tensions rising. Perhaps boiling over on occasion here in that first period of extra time, but the situation as it stands is that Lions will complete the Premiership Championship double. They lead Olympic by 2-1. They've come from behind in order to do so. Steve White opening the scoring in the first half of normal time, 14 minutes in. A lovely finish underneath Luke Borean, and then it was Nathan Reardon with a header into the top corner, a magnificent header that drew the two sides level. And then Marek Madley, he's only been held scoreless twice in a Lions shirt. He wasn't going to make it 3 games in a row. 5 minutes into the extra time period, he managed to get on the end of one.
Good work from Matt Skinner as well. It is getting fire, and he's doing his best out there. And I think some of the other referees in this league might have produced a red at some stage here, but we don't want to see that. And he's done well, a couple of yellow cards, and I think, just try and get those free kicks played nice and quickly, because then it doesn't allow the players to boil over. But again, 15 minutes to go. Olympic, as I said, need to get that ball wide to Lofthouse and Pizarros there, and Ito as well, doing quite well out there on the right-hand side. But really need to get that ball wide like they did in normal time, and that's where they caused Lions a lot of problems.
Lions get things underway once again, kicking from left to right in the orange shirts. Olympic trailing by 2-1, having taken the lead in the first half through Steve White. Lions will be looking to hang on in the final 15 minutes of this National Premier League's Queensland season. Jez Lofthouse inside to Nazari. Now here's Smith. Smith bows down quickly by Shepherd. Smith does well to retain possession. He's looking to direct traffic, gets it to Jez Lofthouse. Lofthouse has his pocket picked brilliantly by Andy Thompson, and Thompson will hit this ball upfield. A long ball towards Solorzano. Mooney did well to come out as he did. Mar goes down, a sliding tackle from Stefanuto, hooks this ball upfield towards Costa Pizarros. It came off Josh Brindle South last, and it will be a throw in over on that far side for Olympic, who are playing up tempo now. They've put all the aggression to one side and are channeling it in a positive way. Pizarros wanted a free kick, perhaps his temper's still a little bit raised. Waters with the header, he's moved in a little bit more prominent position up front. Here's Jez Lofthouse. Lofthouse to Smith. Smith still going. Good tackle in the end. Smith still has the ball. Gets a shot away.
I mean, that's who you want on the ball for Olympic. Smith, he's got a great eye for goal, but just can't manufacture that perfect shot at the moment. I mean, he's really troubled by that ankle injury as well, but I think the Olympic have thrown Kieran Waters up front there, so they know how important it is to try and get a goal, and you'll probably see a few more longer balls from them, which, to be honest, is not a bad idea at this stage of the game.
Tired legs, hoping to take that into account as Mitch Hawke gets his legs clipped by Alex Smith, and it is a free kick to Lions, which they will take their time over, as they are entitled to do, of course. Not too much time remaining now, though. The season just ticking away for Olympic. They were in pole position in the league ladder for so long through the season. They were the team to beat. They have an incredibly strong squad. As you say, Shane Stefanuto may or may not go round again next year. He's 38 now. He's done incredibly well and has been an incredibly strong performer for Olympic over the course of the season. His experience has been incredibly useful. There's not a whole lot of time remaining, and as we've already mentioned, Lions will take their time in getting the ball upfield. Lovely work from Solorzano to Hoare, inside to Carlos. An opportunity for Shepherd, but he overruns it, and Stefanuto's there to just get in the way.
And
Waters doing what he needs to do and flicking that ball onto Alex Smith. Waters is busting a gut to get into the middle. It needed a good tackle, and it got a good interception from Andy Thompson. Still in play though. Waters back to Smith. Smith inside to Kieran Sanders, who sparked a slight confrontation in the first half of extra time. Olympic patiently building possession now. Here's the substitute, Costa Pizarros. Decent ball by Pizarros. Only as far as Lofthouse. Lofthouse with the turn. Onto the left foot. And it's well saved above his head by Breen. He didn't have to move.
Nice try there by Lofthouse.
Is so threatening.
That's right. Good little turn on the edge of the box, and a very skillful player, but again, just quite couldn't get the power on that one or the accuracy. It's straight at Borean, which made it easy for him. But again, Lofthouse looking very dangerous, and Pizarros out there, the fast man doing it for Olympic.
That was a great header by Solorzano, but Olympic turned over just over the head of Waters. That's the option now. Get it upfield to Waters and let him flick it on to either Lofthouse or Smith, who'll be running past.
Yeah, and the Olympic really want to keep this tempo and try and force a fast pace and lots of turnovers from Lions, where Lions want to do the opposite, really try and slow this game down, as looks like they're in here with Shepherd.
Brilliant ball inside by Chris Marsh. Shepherd inside to Sean Carlos, and he puts it over the bar. That could have been the championship right there.
I'll tell you what, we might have to have a look at the groundsman on that end of the field, where Shelford Davis missing one similar in the first half, but yeah, Carlos really should have buried that one. Great work there by Shepherd, and Mundy very unlucky not to clear that one, but Olympic still in this one and keeping their luck.
Reardon takes it round. White does brilliantly. Reardon, two very tired players there, but White does well in his languid style. He can't quite stop himself. That's how tired these players are. Kazuya Ito takes down Shepherd there, and Lions will take their time with this one. Try and maintain possession. You can't do anything without the ball, and Olympic will know that.
Yeah,
and there's some players down on their haunches all over the field.
Ito there struggling as well, but bit of afters there. Cyrus better watch himself on a yellow card. He's doing excellently with the ball. He needs to just leave this after stuff out of the game. But yeah, a lot of tired legs out there.
Wouldn't be the first time this season that an Olympic player has been sent off after coming on as a substitute. Jack Glover in the live stream game that we featured a few rounds before the end of the season against Strikers was sent off within 10 seconds of coming on as a substitute for being the last man. It was quite remarkable. Obviously, Costa Pizarros has stayed on the field a little bit longer than that. But there's still plenty of opportunity. Here's Chris Marr taking the pace out of the game and using the space that he's been allowed by the tiring Olympic defence.
Still 9 minutes though, so plenty of time for Olympic. As I said, they just need to keep getting it wide to these fast men, and I hope Smith can get on the end of something. But they'll get another chance in this match.
Any mistake now as Chris Marr is called offside. Coming back from an offside position. How tired Steve White is, down on his haunches, can't even muster the energy to move. Looks like he might be carrying a little bit of an injury, and that will be music to Mitch Haw's ears as he goes on a little run and uses his body effectively, and Mitch Haw could have kept running
Tell you
there.
what, he probably should have done it, and great work there by him, even Salazano, but well done Saunders as well. I think put him under pressure. He's dropped a lot deeper, Saunders here, really trying to find Waters up there in the old centre forward position.
There's a shot that comes in. That would have been some effort from all of 25 yards, but just
I tell you what,
wide and high.
He'll celebrate pretty crazily if he buries one like that. But yeah, you need some technique to put that in the top corner from there.
It was an ambitious effort, but a tired effort as well. It's an effort that speaks of, I don't think I'm going to be able to take this ball down and make a run. Perhaps I might have to just do something off the cuff and produce something spectacular, and it might take something spectacular to beat Luke Barry, and he's been absolutely magnificent, pulling off 2 incredible saves in the second half as Chris Marr goes past Saunders. Saunders will have to be careful. Marr does well, holding the ball up. He wants some support, goes into the corner, and that's sloppy from Chris Marr, and Saunders coming together off the field, and that's a little bit naughty.
That was silly there. Lucky to get away with that one, I'm not going to lie. Little high five to the nether regions there on Chrissy Marr, so can't believe the linesman's missed that one. You watch it here on the replay.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can't argue with that. That's ridiculous. Again, Saunders, what are you doing, man? You're a better player than that.
It's not casting Kieran Saunders into a particularly
I mean, I suppose a lot of players
light.
aren't used to having so many cameras around the ground, but again, these little nasty things, man, where Olympic are a better side than that.
Steve White's coming off. James Kumineo will be coming on. Been an Olympic stalwart since moving from the QAS all the way back in 2014. He played his first game for Olympic, and play was allowed to continue before Steve White managed to get off the field. What can Kumineo do? Yeah, you don't like seeing that from Kieran Sanders, and I don't know how you expect you're going to get away with that sort of thing.
He's on a yellow card. He's very lucky to get away with that one there, and Olympic really need him on the park because he's got a great ping on him, and he's getting the ball forward for them at the moment.
He's also dropped back into an auxiliary centre-back role, seeing as Kristen Waters has gone upfield. But Lions will win the throw-in now, and again, they'll take all the time they need. As time continues to tick on. Just 6 minutes remaining now for Olympic to try and get a goal back, but they need to have the ball in order to do so. And at the moment, that's looking slightly unlikely. Stefanuto flying in like a man half his age to win that ball, particularly at this stage of the game. It's excellent work from the 38-year-old former Raw man, former Socceroo, of course. But the upshot of it is that Lions will take another few seconds off the clock. Solazano, former teammate of Stefanuto's for the Brisbane Roar, and ends up coughing up possession. Mundy came flying in, ended up winning the ball, but doesn't go upfield enough to win Kristen Waters, but it's James Kumineo who was racing around and got his head to that ball. Mitchell was being shepherded by Jez Lofthouse, who is now free, but Olympic can't find him except for Kristen Waters. He saw the move, and now Jez Lofthouse, what can he do? What can he conjure from this position? Only a pass to Nazari. Now Kazuya Ito. Ito putting the ball into a dangerous area for Waters. That's a brilliant grab from Berean.
Yeah, not enough pace on that quad. Great area, as you said, but sort of floated in there. Any keeper, especially these two, Borean and Mooney, they'll gobble that up every day.
Stefanuto watched that one well. Solazano wanted it over the top. Here's an opportunity for Waters. Berean is in no man's land. The flag was up on that far side.
I mean, luckily, he didn't score anyway, but lucky for Borean that it was offside there, because he found himself in no man's land there, and unlucky there, the big man Waters, but offside the decision by the linesman.
Former Wynnum Wolf, Kristen Waters, has got skills with his feet. He might not look it. He comes across as a rather Large, robust central defender, and that's a position he often plays, but he has got skills.
It was a great ball in by Loftus as well. Nice little dink over the top, but fortunately just slightly offside anyway from Waters.
Wasn't far off.
But yeah, he certainly is causing trouble up there, the big man. And Simic is not a small boy, but he's looking fairly small next to Waters right now.
Here's Chris Marr. Chris Marr gets a little bit of rough treatment, then gets even more rough treatment by Mundy, and then Mundy throws Chris Marr to the floor. There's a lot of afters going on now, and it's in fact a Lions ball anyway.
It's working against Olympic, to be honest, anyway, so it's a bit silly from them. I understand that they're frustrated right now, but again, Lions will enjoy this. They'll take as much time as they can.
Well, they're starting to lose their composure, aren't they, Olympic? And part of the way they've played all season is being cool-headed and being able to make the most of opportunities. And at the moment, when when the blood's up and the red mist has descended, you can't have that composure, and that's what's costing Olympic here.
That's right, and every time Lofthouse has got the ball, he's created something down here late in this match. So again, they need to get him on the ball. But yeah, Lions will be loving this, having it down deep in Olympic territory.
3 minutes remaining in the National Premier League's Queensland Grand Final. It's the Premiers leading the team that finished second to them in the ladder by 2-1. It's a Lions ball, and now Matt Mundy's losing his head a little bit at the assistant official on this near side, and there's things being thrown. This is very unsavoury now.
Crowd, we don't need to do that. It had excellent support here tonight, and no need to be throwing bottles and whatnot.
There is a Lions player down. I can't quite see who it is.
Is it Salazar?
Might be Salazano, yes. I think you're right.
It'll be interesting to see this replay here once the mist is cleared.
But he is off the field, so Lions are expected to play on in this situation, but you bet your bottom dollar that they'll take their time over it.
Referee just having a chat to a number of players again.
Will be a Lions throw. That's a minute taken off the clock, and Solzano has been asked if he needs attention. He decides he'd rather receive the ball instead from the throw, and he concedes a throw in this time. Mundy again with a little shove.
Here we go.
Chasing down Nazari, but Olympic need to move the ball quickly, and they do so. Here's Costa Passaris. Passaris is going to cut this ball onside. Smith's in here. Alex Smith gets the better of Thompson. Smith's still there. Smith goes down. Free kick is given rather belatedly by Matt Skinner, and that's much to the displeasure of Nathan Reardon and Danny Kim. They can't believe that decision's gone against them, but we'll have to see a replay, and here we go. It's a lovely ball through. Alex Smith in all sorts of space, and Danny Kim just...
That's one of those. You really need to play the ball there from Danny Kim, and probably the right decision by the referee. And for Olympic, I suppose the positive is Smith is on the field. Can put him away from here, but surely it'll test out his ankle. But, I mean, you can't get a better opportunity than this.
I'll say it quietly. This is almost the exact same position that Smith scored the go-ahead goal in the semi-final in the 85th minute of the game. We're now in the 120th minute of this one. I mean, can lightning strike twice?
And just about every player in the 18-yard box there, so I'm sure no one else but Smith is taking this one, and Borean probably knows it's going up and over the wall, but it'll be interesting to see if Smith decides to go far post rather than up and over.
Borean is backing his wall. Smith knows that this is the opportunity. The crowd hold their breath. It's a decent free kick, but it's straight into the wall. It's still there for Smith as a Lions player down. It is a hand injury, so Matt Skinner is obliged to stop the game, and that might not be to the liking of the Olympic fans away to our right.
Yeah, I'll tell you
certainly
what, I mean,
not the liking to Christian Waters to our left.
I wouldn't want to be on the end of a free kick from Matty Smith right in the head, where Saunders again stealing Borean's beanie there, but
he's embarrassing himself now, isn't he, Saunders?
It's getting a bit stupid from him.
It's not a fair reflection on the way he's played all season.
That's right.
He's
they
a
are
niggly
a good
character.
side, but they're really letting some nasties come into it now, which is silly from them because, as you said, they've been a great side and deservedly the second best team in the competition. So, but again, it looks like Salazano there just getting treatment for the head knock there.
I think it might be Matthias Simic who's down. I
Oh,
can't
that's
see
right.
him
Yeah, it looks like
wandering around.
Simic. Sorry. Salazano here at the halfway line, but
And Matt Skinner, he's had a good game. I mean, it has got quite combustible
yeah,
out
it's
there,
not
and
much
he's
else he could do,
explaining.
to be fair. I think he's done well not to send anyone off, but a
He's
few players really pushing the boundary, and we're doing well to keep 11 on the field.
He was explaining there to Matt Mundy just why he had to stop the game, and he was saying, look, it's not up
And
to
that's
me.
the rules, so that's fair. I know there's a lot of people called out there. I think the Lions side had the ball anyway, but if there's a head injury, you've got to blow for a stoppage. So good decision.
A couple of players having a bit of a discussion here. Alex Smith.
Well, I think they're fighting over the drop ball and where it's going to be taken from, and who had the ball and who was going where. So again, I think we'll see a good old-fashioned drop ball here, which will be good to see.
Haven't seen one of them for a few years. We're in time added on now at the end of this grand final. Jez Lofthouse looking rather laconic there, just seeing what the situation is with the Lions captain Matthias Simic. He'll hopefully be able to continue. He's going to have to go off having received treatment, and he is getting off the field very gingerly. I mean, that would have been some head knock that he took, a full flush in the face, and he is massaging the temples a little bit.
I mean, as we've seen there, that's only 10 yards, and Smith does hit them. He doesn't float them in, so that would have rattled anyone, but yeah, nonetheless, drop ball here, good old-fashioned one.
Well, we saw this last week, just how hard he can hit them, and well, keep your eye on Kieran Sanders, number 10 for Olympic here, going up against Mitch Hoare. It's a good old-fashioned drop goal that Kieran Sanders gets the better of. Stefanuto back to Sanders. Sanders back to Stefanuto. Stefanuto with the ball. It's hacked clear by Shepherd, I think it was. There is not much time remaining. We're in the hands of the official, Matt Skinner. Nazari to Passaris. Back to
Simic
Mundy.
back on, he's just got the signal from the referee, so Lions with the full complement as players.
Quickly into position and straight into the action. It's headed up into the air. Waters is there. Lofthouse is there. Now Sanders. Sanders puts a teasing one in, but it's ahead of all of the players in dark blue, and that might well be that here in the National Premier League's Queensland Grand Final.
Tell you what, that was a great ball in there from Saunders. That's what he's good at, and that's what we want to see from him, not that other stuff, but Lions players there, you got to anticipate that stuff and get in the back post. You see it all the time at the top level, those players that just always seem to be in that right spot, but no one there for Olympic, unfortunately.
All eyes on Matt Skinner, no whistle, and when it is blown, it's for a Lions free kick. It's been a game that's had pretty much everything, in a season that's had pretty much everything. A wonderful conclusion to that, despite the less savoury incidents that we've seen. Lions will have this free kick. Simic onto the head of Kazuya Ito. Passaros. Mitch Hoare's going to get there ahead of Jez Lofthouse. Kim goes wide to Solizano. Solizano does keep the ball in, tries to turn it round the corner for Josh Brindle South, but
yeah, a little push in the back there, and of course all the Lions players are just any contact, they'll just wear that and go down. Where Olympic obviously frustrated, really from behind there. It's a free kick all day, but Lions in no rush to take this, and you would feel the frustrations of the Olympic players, that's for sure.
We're going to see a substitution from Warren Moon. It's going to be Carter Glockner, I think, who comes on. It's not going to happen just yet.
Yellow card there for Brindle South, moving the ball, but silly one there, but shouldn't affect the game too much.
Sure, he won't
really
mind.
just trying to run this game out now.
He won't mind that. Bono's dispossessed of then
Long throw needs to go for Olympic.
In his haste to pick up the ball, doesn't quite gather it. It's hacked forward by Kristen Waters. Nobody up there though to get on the end of it. Bit of head tennis in the midfield. Here's Chris Marr. Been at the thick of the action since he's come on. Skips past the challenge. Opportunity now perhaps for Shepherd to put the game to bed. That's an ugly challenge from Stefanuto. It could have been picking any of the free kicks you could have been given on the edge of the area.
That's right. Yeah, decent play there by Lyons. I mean, Stefanuto probably didn't have too much option there. He had to really try and win that ball to get it back for his side, because it's just that stage of the game right now. But yeah,
have a look at it now.
Sean
That was
Carlos,
nasty.
dummy, but
it was that man Kieran Sanders again who went in late on Nathan Shepherd.
That's right, out wide there.
And Nathan Shepherd's still down. I mean, Kieran Sanders is incredibly lucky to be seeing the end of his game out.
I mean, let's be honest, he should have had at least 2 yellows by now, but there's not much left in this match, and yeah, wrong end of the field for Olympic. Lions will really take their time. I wonder if they'll even bother trying to have a shot at goal. It's probably worth it, maybe stealing that third goal, but a lot of frustration there from the Olympic players as we see a lot of the fans starting to leave the ground now.
Starting to get into a position to launch a pitch invasion, as I've no doubt we'll see at the end of the game. All the kids getting onto the field, as we saw when Lions clinched the premiership here.
Yeah, always a bit of fun for the youngsters, but looks like Carlos will have a dig here, which I think is a good idea.
He has 11
maybe
goals.
Force the keeper into a save and grab a corner.
He has 11 goals so far this season, Sean Carlos. He can hit them pretty well. He's hit that one pretty well, but it's right into the chest of Nick Mooney, and that is it for the National Premier League Queensland in 2018. We do have the kids on the field, and it is Lions who are crowned champions of Queensland here at Lions Stadium at Richlands. It was a real battle against Olympic, but they have prevailed, coming from behind to lead by 2-1.
Yeah, great work there by Lions. Over the course of the season, the best side taking out the premiership, and again, unfortunately for Olympic, couldn't quite do it here in the grand final, coming from a goal down as well to win 2-1 in extra time. Great way to do it from the Lions players, and that man there, Madley, coming up with the goods, but unfortunately tough end to the game for the referee, that's for certain. A few unsavoury little incidents there late on in the game, but yeah, I mean, I remember running on as a kid when you didn't really care what team won, you just knew that you were on the field, and a lot of young Lions supporters out here getting around, running around on the field, but very tough contest, and congratulations to Olympic as well. I mean, they've been the second best side this whole year, and I know it sounds that's calling them the losers, which they are tonight, unfortunately, but at the end of the day, the 2 best sides made it here, and it was a great contest right to the end, and Lions, as they have done all season, just shading it.
None of them left anything out there, did they? It was full-blooded. It couldn't have been harder fought, really. You see players on the deck. You just saw Nick Mooney on his knees in anguish, having conceded 2 goals, but neither of them could he do anything about. He was exceptional today, as indeed was Luke Breen. He really kept his side in it.
And that's right. I mean, both sides can really hold their heads up high. In particular, as you said, Borean and Mooney in goals. Terrific job from both of those guys, and some fantastic saves where Olympic probably thought they could have won it in normal time, but like any grand final, you just got to keep fighting to the end, and it's those little 1%ers that can make the difference. I mean, credit to Olympic. Mundy was exceptional at the back, as was Stefanuto there as well. And if that is Stefanuto's last game as a semi-professional / professional soccer player, hats off to him for a great career. And he had a great game tonight and really, really pushed. Unfortunately for Olympic, they just couldn't do it, and yeah, got a bit heated there at the end. Amazing support as they go over to clap their crowd. Excellent to see that kind of thing here behind the goals. Away supporters, as it's called, but really came out on song, and unfortunately for them, commiserations.
And yeah, they'll be disappointed, Olympic, but they did give it everything, and this support is absolutely fantastic. We don't often see it at this level in this country, unfortunately, but we've had some really impressive support here, and they've really added a lot of colour and certain amount of excitement to the occasion.
It was a great game,
really
and a great grand final, and both sides look very tired there. Even the Lions players, I mean, they celebrating the win tonight, but a lot of boys on hands on knees there, but a great win for them, and I'm sure they'll be celebrating long and hard. And just Warren Moon, they're going over to congratulate Ben Khan as well, the Olympic coach. Both the best 2 coaches in the league, obviously, and credit to those 2 as well.
Just a reminder, of course, that Lions season isn't over. They head to the national competition, and they're going to host Edgeworth Eagles from northern New South Wales, who lost their grand final yesterday to Broadmeadow. 7:30 kickoff here next week. We'll be on hand to bring you all the action from that one. But it has been a remarkable night here at Lions Stadium. We'll just check out the highlights here from this game. That was where Merritt Madley got his injury, and it was very brave effort from Nick Mooney, from both players really. He's just gingerly getting up here and just starting to feel the back of his head, and he was never able to really recover from that. Jez Lofthouse, he was magnificent all season, all game as well. He had a very good impact on this match.
I mean, that was a big one there from Smith. That really could have made the difference for Olympic. But, yeah, I mean, he tried hard. I'm sure that ankle would have been troubling him a lot, and bore in lucky there as well. Lofthouse had an excellent game. I felt he can really hold his head up high, not only tonight, but for this season as well. He's had a great game, as we see some afters here. But
that was the incident that sparked the mini coming together. Andy Thompson really taking exception to that two-footed tackle from Kieran Sanders, who really let himself down, really, if we're honest, in extra time.
That's right, late in the game. I mean, the referee did well overall, but there certainly could have been a couple of, or should have been a few red cards there, if not second yellows for the red card. But yeah, it's unfortunate that it did go that way. But again, both sides fought to the death in a real tight contest once again.
Jez Lofthouse again proving his trickery, and you just wonder what difference it would have made had Alex Smith managed to be on the field from the start for Olympic. I mean, he was a big absence for them tonight.
Yeah, massive loss for Olympic, being one of their key men. But in saying that, Lions were without Gerard at the back, you know, who's been a stalwart with Simic all season. But again, credit to Lions. They've done it all year. They've turned up. I'm pretty sure most of the people started the season when they were doing their predictions didn't even have Lions in their top four. And not only to be the premiers with the lowest goals conceded in all of the NPLs around the country, final 32 of the FA Cup and round of 16, which unfortunately wasn't to be, but premiers and GF winners. And
this was the moment from Smith that nearly knocked out.
I mean, it did hit him square in the head. So
Matthew Simic, he went straight down, didn't he? It looked like the side of a head. That could have been really nasty. I mean, it was some free kick from Alex Smith, but that was the moment. And that is pretty much all from us here tonight from Lions Stadium. Jonty, thank you so much for joining me here today and for bringing us all the action from the National Premier League's Queensland Grand Final. I've been Simon Smanley. It has been an absolute pleasure to bring you all the season from the National Premier League's Queensland. Thanks to Double Take for all their efforts in bringing us all the extra cameras and highlights and replays tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. We hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll see you for the national rounds next weekend. It's good night from us.